My beloved child, open your heart and listen to me with care. This is not a message for your ears alone. It is a call to the place within you where the light has been placed, the quiet flame that still belongs to me, even if the world around you has become noisy, heavy, and distracting. I am not speaking to frighten you. I am speaking to awaken you. There is something sacred inside you that must not be neglected. There is a purity, a tenderness, a living spark that I placed within your soul. Some days it may feel like only a small ember beneath the ashes of exhaustion, disappointment, and delay. But my child, do not call small what heaven still calls alive. The flame within you is still there, and because it is still there, it must be guarded. The world will not always attack that flame with obvious darkness. Sometimes what weakens the soul comes quietly. A thought you allow to remain too long, a bitterness you keep feeding in secret, a word spoken quickly without love, a habit you keep excusing because it seems harmless, a prompting from me that you keep postponing because you tell yourself there will be time later. Do you see? The greatest danger is not always the storm outside the house. Sometimes it is the window left open while the cold air slowly enters. Sometimes it is not one great fall, but many small neglects that slowly teach the heart to grow numb. This is why I say to you, guard what I have placed within you. As it is written in Proverbs chapter 4, guard your heart above all else, for from it flow the springs of life. Your heart is not a small matter. What flows from it will touch your thoughts, your words, your choices, your relationships, and the path you walk. If the spring is protected, life flows clearly. If the spring is neglected, confusion begins to enter. My beloved child, I do not ask you to hide from the world as though darkness is stronger than my light. I do not call you to shrink, panic, or become suspicious of everything around you. I call you to live awake. I call you to live with holy attention. I call you to notice what is trying to enter your heart before it settles there and begins to shape your direction. There is a watchfulness that comes from fear. That is not what I want for you. There is also a watchfulness that comes from love. That is what I am teaching you. When someone carries a candle through the night, they do not hate the night. They simply understand the value of the flame. They cup their hand around it. They walk carefully. They pay attention to the wind, not because they are terrified, but because they know the light is precious. So it is with you. Your faith, your peace, your sensitivity to my voice, and your desire for what is pure are precious. Do not leave these things unguarded. My child, there are seasons when you feel spiritually strong, and in those seasons you may think you are safe from drifting. But sometimes drifting begins when strength makes a person careless. At other times you feel weak and you think the small ember inside you does not matter anymore. But in weakness, vigilance matters even more. A small ember can become a bright flame again if it is covered, fed, and protected. Do not despise the ember. Do not abandon the quiet place. Do not say, I will return to prayer later. I will correct this later. I will listen later. I will obey later. Later can become a hiding place for delay, and delay can become the doorway through which spiritual dullness enters. I do not say this to condemn you. I say it because I love what I placed within you. I know the future connected to your obedience. I know the people who may one day need the light you carry. I know the peace that will grow when you begin guarding your inner world again. That is why I draw near today. I am placing my hand gently on the door of your heart and saying, wake up, return to the flame, tend what is sacred. Do not let distraction become your shepherd. Do not let offense become your teacher. Do not let weariness decide the direction of your soul. Come back to me in the small things, in your thoughts, in your words, and in the quiet moments no one sees. A flame is not kept alive by one dramatic moment alone. It is kept alive through steady care, a little oil, a little shelter, a little attention, a little obedience, again and again. This is not a heavy burden, my child. This is love becoming rhythm. When you pray, you add oil. When you forgive, you remove smoke from the room. When you obey quickly, you protect the spark before it fades. When you turn away from what drains you, you make room for what strengthens you. These small choices matter more than you know. The enemy would love to make you believe that only big decisions shape your destiny. But many destinies are protected in small, unseen moments. The decision not to answer with anger, the decision not to feed resentment, the decision to pause before speaking, the decision to return to me before the day runs ahead of you. These are not small in my eyes. They are the ways you guard the flame. My beloved child, I am not asking you to become perfect. I am asking you to become attentive. I am not asking you to live tense and afraid. I am asking you to live close to me. The closer you walk with me, the sooner you will recognize what dims your light and what strengthens it. And when you notice the flame growing low, do not run from me in shame. Come near, let me breathe upon what remains. I am not the father who crushes a small spark. I am the one who restores it. I know how to bring warmth back to a heart that has grown tired. So guard the flame within you, my child. Not with fear, with love, not with pressure, with devotion. Not because the darkness is greater, but because the light is holy. And as you begin to guard it, you will understand the next truth. Watchfulness is not a life of anxiety. It is the quiet strength of a soul that knows the value of what God has placed inside and chooses to protect it with tenderness, wisdom, and faith. My beloved child, now that you understand the flame within you must be guarded, let me correct something gently in your heart. Watchfulness is not fear. Watchfulness is not living with tense shoulders, suspicious eyes, and a soul that expects danger in every corner. I am not calling you into panic. I am calling you into closeness. There is a kind of attention that grows from anxiety, and there is a kind of attention that grows from love. Anxiety says, something terrible may happen, so I must control everything. Love says, what God placed within me is precious, so I will care for it wisely. My child, I want you to live from love. I do not want you to spend your life afraid of the darkness. Darkness is not stronger than me. The enemy is not greater than my presence. The world is not more powerful than the light I have placed inside you. But because that light is sacred, you must not treat it carelessly. This is the balance I am teaching you. Do not fear the darkness, but do not play with it. Do not shrink from the world, but do not let the world shape your heart. Do not live as though every shadow will destroy you, but do not leave the doors of your soul open to anything that wants to enter. Watchfulness is the quiet wisdom of someone who knows what belongs to God and refuses to hand it over through neglect. As it is written in Matthew chapter 26, watch and pray so that you will not fall into temptation. Notice, my beloved child, I did not say only watch. I said watch and pray. Watchfulness without prayer can become anxiety. Prayer without watchfulness can become careless. But when they walk together, your soul becomes both peaceful and awake. Prayer keeps your eyes on me. Watchfulness helps you notice what is trying to pull your eyes away. This is why I tell you not to live asleep inside your own life. Some people do not fall away in one loud moment. They drift slowly. A little less prayer, a little more compromise, a little more resentment, a little less attention to the voice of the Spirit, a little more comfort with things that once troubled their conscience. At first it feels small, then it becomes normal, then the heart wonders why the flame feels low. My child, I am not saying this to make you afraid. I am saying it because I want you to recognize drift early. A boat does not need a storm to move away from shore. Sometimes all it needs is to be untied and left alone. Quiet currents will carry it farther than expected. So it is with the soul. If you do not remain anchored in me, small currents will begin to move you. A thought can become an attitude. An attitude can become a reaction can become a habit can begin shaping the direction of your life. This is why watchfulness matters. It is not fear, it is love paying attention before distance grows. My beloved child, I know you get tired. I know there are days when your spirit feels heavy and your mind does not want to examine anything. You just want to rest. You want to forget the struggle. You want to be left alone. I understand that. I am gentle with the weary. But even rest must remain connected to me. There is rest that restores you, and there is escape that slowly dulls you. Rest brings you back to life. Escape pulls you away from truth. Rest makes your heart softer. Escape makes your heart numb. Rest helps you hear me again. Escape makes my voice feel distant. Learn the difference. When you are tired, come to me. Do not run to what empties you and call it comfort. Do not return to what weakens your spirit and call it relief. I have rest for you that does not steal your sensitivity. I have peace for you that does not require you to forget who you are. Watchfulness is learning to ask simple questions in my presence. Father, is this drawing me closer to you? Father, is this making my heart softer or harder? Father, is this strengthening the flame or covering it with ash? These questions are not meant to burden you. They are meant to bring you back to clarity. A watchful person is not someone who sees demons in everything. A watchful person is someone who notices the direction of the heart. They can enjoy what is good without becoming owned by it. They can rest without drifting into laziness. They can speak without letting their tongue become careless. They can feel pain without letting bitterness become their home. This is maturity, not a fearful life. A clear life, not a tense life. A guarded life, not a joyless life. A life where joy is protected from the things that quietly poison it. My child, think of a shepherd watching over a flock at night. The shepherd is not awake because he hates the sheep. He is awake because he loves them. He listens for movement. He notices the edge of the field. He understands that danger often approaches before the flock understands what is happening. His watchfulness is an act of care. I am your shepherd, and I am teaching you to shepherd the inner life I entrusted to you. Your thoughts are not meaningless. Your words are not empty. Your reactions are not small. Your private choices are not hidden from spiritual consequence. This does not mean you must become afraid of every mistake. It means you must stop calling sacred things casual. There is a life within you that must be tended. There is a peace within you that must be protected. There is a sensitivity to my voice that must be preserved. When you sense correction, do not harden. When you sense warning, do not argue. When you sense that something is dimming your spirit, do not wait until the flame is nearly gone. Turn quickly, return gently, come close again. My beloved child, I am not looking for a life ruled by fear. I am looking for a heart that stays awake because it loves me. A heart that says, Father, I want nothing to take the place that belongs to you. I want nothing to quietly steal what you have planted in me. I want to remain near enough to recognize your whisper. That kind of heart is precious to me. And when you live that way, you will begin to experience a freedom many people do not understand. You will not be dragged by every desire. You will not be mastered by every mood. You will not be moved by every voice. You will walk with a calm awareness, knowing that my spirit is not leading you into bondage, but into life. Watchfulness protects peace. Watchfulness protects purpose. Watchfulness protects the flame. So do not reject it as fear. Receive it as wisdom. Let it become a holy rhythm in your days, a quiet checking of the heart, a return to prayer, a willingness to obey when I nudge you, a readiness to close the door when something begins to steal your light. And as you learn this rhythm, you will understand the next truth. A flame does not remain strong by attention alone. It must be fed. It must receive oil. It must be prepared before the night grows long so that when the appointed hour comes, your light will still be burning. My beloved child, as you learn to live awake without fear, I want you to understand the next truth with a humble and open heart. A flame cannot remain strong by being noticed only. It must be fed. It must receive oil. It must be cared for before the night becomes long. This is why I tell you now, do not let the oil run out. Do not wait until your soul feels empty before you return to me. Do not wait until confusion surrounds you before you seek my voice. Do not wait until the flame is almost gone before you remember the place of prayer. My child, preparation is love expressed before the crisis arrives. Many people want strength in the moment of testing, but they neglect the quiet things that build strength before the test. They want peace when the storm rises, but they have not made room for peace in ordinary days. They want clarity when pressure comes, but they have allowed their inner life to become crowded with noise. I do not say this to shame you. I say it to call you back to wisdom. The oil of the soul is gathered in the secret place. It is gathered when you come to me while life still feels ordinary. It is gathered when you pray before fear forces you to pray. It is gathered when you choose. My word before confusion demands an answer. It is gathered when you obey a small prompting before delay has time to harden your heart. As it is written in Matthew chapter 25, there were wise virgins and foolish virgins who carried lamps while they waited for the bridegroom. The wise brought oil with their lamps. The foolish carried lamps, but did not bring enough oil. And when the night stretched longer than expected, the difference was revealed. Do you see, my beloved child? The difference was not seen at first. At the beginning, they all had lamps. They all looked ready. They all appeared to be waiting. But when the delay became long, when midnight came, when the hour required endurance, the hidden preparation became visible. So it is with the soul. Anyone can appear strong for a moment. Anyone can speak faith when the sun is bright and the road is easy. But when the night grows long, what has been stored in secret begins to matter. The oil of prayer matters. The oil of obedience matters. The oil of surrender matters. The oil of daily return matters. You cannot borrow at midnight what you refuse to gather in the day. This is not punishment. This is spiritual reality. There are things that must be cultivated before the moment arrives. A steady heart cannot be manufactured in panic. Discernment cannot be borrowed from someone else when your own spirit has grown dull. Faith cannot be treated as decoration and then expected to carry weight when the door opens. My child, I am not asking you to live under pressure. I am inviting you to live prepared. Preparation does not have to be dramatic. Sometimes it is as simple as turning off the noise and sitting with me. Sometimes it is choosing forgiveness before resentment becomes familiar. Sometimes it is reading one passage of Scripture with an honest heart. Sometimes it is whispering, "Father, keep me close today before the day begins to pull you in many directions." Small oil is still oil. Do not despise the little acts that nourish your soul. A lamp does not ask for applause. It asks for fuel. In the same way, your spirit does not need constant attention from people. It needs communion with me. It needs truth. It needs quiet. It needs correction that is received without resistance. It needs worship when no one is watching. It needs choices that keep your heart tender. My beloved child, there have been days when you carried the lamp but forgot the oil. You kept the appearance of faith, but your inner life was tired. You said the right words, but your heart felt distant. You continued moving, but something inside you felt thin, dry, and unprotected. I saw that, and I did not turn away. I am calling you not because I am angry, but because I want to refill what has been running low. I want to restore the warmth of your prayer. I want to bring back the softness of your heart. I want to teach you to care for your spirit before exhaustion becomes your teacher. Do not only come to me when the night is heavy. Come to me while the morning is quiet. Come to me while your heart still has room to listen. Come to me before your peace is drained by voices that do not know where I am leading you. My child, some doors require prepared hearts. Some seasons require lamps that can keep burning longer than expected. Some delays are not meant to destroy you, but to reveal whether your trust is rooted deeply enough to remain steady. This is why preparation is not wasted. The prayer no one sees is not wasted. The obedience no one praises is not wasted. The boundary no one understands is not wasted. The quiet turning away from what weakens you is not wasted. Each one adds oil. Each one protects the flame. Each one teaches your soul how to remain steady when the hour grows late. Do not compare your oil with another person's lamp. I have given each life its own path, its own measure, its own assignment, its own season of waiting. What I ask of you is not to copy someone else's rhythm, but to stay faithful to the way I am teaching you to remain close to me. If your soul feels dry, return. If your prayer has become weak, return. If your heart has become distracted, return. Do not make a speech before you come. Do not decorate your weariness. Come honestly. I know how to pour fresh oil into a surrendered heart. My beloved child, the oil is not earned by performance. It is received through relationship. You do not come to me as a servant trying to prove worth. You come as a child who knows where life is found. I am the source that does not run dry. When you come near, I restore what the world has drained. So begin again. Keep oil in the lamp. Keep prayer near your breath. Keep truth near your thoughts. Keep obedience near your steps. Keep your heart near my presence. And when the night grows long, you will not be afraid. You will not be empty. You will not search desperately for what should have been gathered in secret. Your flame will still be alive because you learned to come to me before the hour of need. This is the wisdom I am placing in you now. The flame must be guarded and the oil must be gathered. But soon you must also understand why I teach you these rhythms. Discipline is not a chain around your life. It is the sacred structure that protects the garden I am growing within you. My beloved child, now that you understand the flame must be guarded and the oil must be gathered, let me speak to the part of you that still resists discipline. You have often heard that word and felt heaviness. You have connected discipline with pressure, restriction, and the fear of doing something wrong, but I want to realign your understanding. Discipline is not a chain. Discipline is a garden fence. It is not placed around your life to steal your joy. It is placed around what is growing within you so that the tender things are not trampled before they become strong. A garden without protection may look open, but it is not safe. Anything can enter. Anything can crush what is beginning to bloom. Anything can pull at the roots before the fruit has time to appear. So it is with your soul. What I am growing within you needs space, order, and care. Your peace needs protection. Your focus needs protection. Your sensitivity to my voice needs protection. Your joy needs protection. Not because these things are weak, but because they are precious. My child, many people confuse freedom with having no boundaries. They believe that to be free means to follow every desire, answer every emotion, and open the door to whatever feels pleasant in the moment. But a life without discipline is not truly free. It is easily pulled, easily scattered, easily drained. True freedom is not the ability to choose anything. True freedom is the strength to choose what gives life. As it is written in Psalm chapter 1, "Blessed is the person whose delight is in the law of the Lord. That person is like a tree planted by streams of water bearing fruit in its season." Do you see, my beloved child, the tree is fruitful because it is planted. It is not drifting from place to place. Its roots are held in the right soil. Its life is near the right stream. Discipline plants you. Distraction uproots you. Discipline gives your soul a place to grow. Distraction keeps pulling you away before fruit can mature. I do not want you to live a dry life. I do not want your days to feel cold, narrow, and joyless. I am not asking you to remove every beautiful thing from your life. I created joy. I created rest. I created laughter. I created the sweetness of good things. But I also know that even good things can become harmful when they take the place of what is holy. This is why discernment must walk with joy. You may rest, but do not let rest become avoidance. You may enjoy, but do not let enjoyment become escape. You may laugh, but do not let pleasure make you forget purpose. You may pause, but do not let comfort become the place where obedience falls asleep. My beloved child, discipline is not the enemy of joy. It is the structure that allows joy to become deep. Shallow joy depends on circumstances. Deep joy has roots. Shallow joy disappears when the weather changes. Deep joy remains because it is fed by something eternal. As it is written in 1 Corinthians chapter 10, all things may be lawful, but not all things are beneficial. This is wisdom. There are things you can do that will not immediately destroy you, yet they slowly weaken your inner life. There are words you can speak that may feel justified, yet they make your heart harder. There are habits that seem harmless, yet they quietly steal your hunger for me. Do not ask only, is this allowed? Ask, does this strengthen what God is growing in me? Ask, does this protect the garden or leave it open? Ask, does this help my roots go deeper or keep my soul restless? My child, I am not teaching you self-denial for the sake of appearing holy. I am teaching you to choose with wisdom because your future is connected to your daily rhythm. The person you become is shaped by what you repeat. The garden you carry is shaped by what you allow. If you allow weeds to grow, do not be surprised when they compete with the flowers. If you allow bitterness to stay, do not be surprised when peace becomes harder to feel. If you allow distraction to rule, do not be surprised when purpose feels distant. But if you tend the garden, if you pull up what does not belong, if you water what is good, if you give attention to what is alive, then fruit will come in season. This is not punishment, this is growth. Remember Paul, who spoke of running a race with purpose. He did not live carelessly. He disciplined himself, not because he hated his life, but because he understood the value of the calling before him. An athlete does not train because the race is meaningless. An athlete trains because the prize is worthy of preparation. So it is with you. What I have placed before you is worthy of preparation. Your calling is worthy of focus. Your peace is worthy of protection. Your future is worthy of wise choices. My beloved child, do not let the world shame you for having boundaries. Do not let careless voices convince you that discipline means you are missing out. You are not missing what destroys your peace. You are not losing what weakens your spirit. You are not becoming less alive when you choose what nourishes your soul. You are becoming rooted. You are becoming clear. You are becoming steady. There will be moments when discipline feels uncomfortable. Pulling weeds is not always pleasant. Saying no is not always easy. Closing a door can feel painful when a part of you is used to keeping it open. But discomfort does not always mean harm. Sometimes discomfort is the feeling of your soul being freed from what used to rule it. Let me be gentle with you in this process. I am not standing over you with harshness. I am walking with you as a father who knows how beautiful the garden can become. I see flowers you have not seen yet. I see fruit still hidden in seed form. I see the strength that will rise when your life is no longer pulled apart by every passing desire. So receive discipline as a gift. Receive it as a fence of love. Receive it as the quiet structure that lets what is sacred grow safely. Begin with one small area, one habit, one thought pattern, one boundary, one place where you know the fence has been broken. Invite me there. Let me help you rebuild without shame. My child, when discipline is guided by my love, it will not crush you. It will give you room to breathe. It will protect the joy you thought it would take away. It will make your life deeper, not smaller. And as you learn to live inside this sacred structure, you will begin to recognize the next truth. Not everything that enters your life nourishes your soul. Some things feed the roots, and some things drain the ground. Wisdom is learning the difference and choosing what keeps the garden alive. My beloved child, now that you understand discipline as a fence of love, I want to take you deeper into wisdom. A protected garden still needs the right nourishment. A guarded flame still needs the right fuel. A soul that belongs to me must learn what brings life and what slowly drains it. Not everything that enters your day is harmless. Not everything that brings quick comfort brings true healing. Not everything that feels pleasant at first will leave your heart stronger afterward. This is why I am teaching you to choose what nourishes your soul. My child, there are things that feed your spirit, and there are things that only entertain your weariness. There are conversations that leave your heart clearer, and there are conversations that leave your spirit heavy. There are habits that restore your inner strength, and there are habits that quietly scatter your focus until prayer feels distant and peace feels thin. You must learn the difference. As it is written in 1 Corinthians chapter 10, all things may be lawful, but not all things are beneficial. That word is not meant to trap you in fear. It is meant to give you wisdom. You may have the ability to choose many things, but not every choice will carry you toward life. Some things are not openly destructive, yet they slowly weaken the tenderness of your heart. Do not ask only whether something is allowed. Ask whether it is fruitful. Ask whether it brings you closer to me. Ask whether it leaves your heart clean, steady, and awake. My beloved child, I know the world around you is full of noise. It offers you constant voices, constant images, constant opinions, constant invitations to react. It teaches you to consume without noticing what is being planted inside you. But the soul is not a storage room where everything can be placed without consequence. The soul is living soil. Whatever you allow repeatedly will begin to grow there. If you keep feeding fear, fear will take root. If you keep feeding resentment, resentment will spread. If you keep feeding comparison, peace will become harder to find. But if you feed truth, truth will strengthen you. If you feed gratitude, your heart will become softer. If you feed prayer, your spirit will become more sensitive to my voice. If you feed obedience, your steps will become clearer. This is not punishment. This is the law of growth. What you water will grow. Remember Mary and Martha. Martha was busy with many things, worried and troubled by much serving. Mary sat at my feet and listened. I did not reject Martha's care, but I revealed what was better in that moment. Mary had chosen the good portion, and it would not be taken from her. Do you see, my child? The good portion was not noise. It was presence. It was not frantic activity. It was nearness. It was not the pressure to do more. It was the wisdom to receive what truly nourished the heart. There will be times when you are busy with things that appear necessary, but your soul is starving because you have not sat with me. There will be times when you have done many tasks, answered many people, carried many responsibilities, and yet something inside you feels dry. That dryness is not always because your life is too hard. Sometimes it is because your soul has been eating what cannot sustain it. Come back to the good portion. Come back to what gives life. Come back to my presence before your strength becomes empty. My beloved child, choosing what nourishes your soul may require you to say no to things that once felt normal. It may mean stepping away from certain conversations when they begin filling you with bitterness. It may mean turning off a voice that keeps your heart anxious. It may mean stopping a habit that gives relief for a moment but leaves shame behind afterward. It may mean choosing quiet when your flesh wants distraction. These choices may seem small, but they are sacred. A person who guards their soul is not rejecting joy. They are protecting the source of true joy. They are not becoming cold. They are becoming clear. They are not withdrawing from life. They are refusing to let life be filled with things that choke what I am growing. My child, do not confuse stimulation with nourishment. Something can keep your mind busy and still leave your spirit empty. Something can make you laugh and still make your heart dull. Something can give you a short escape and still leave you more tired than before. Nourishment has a different fruit. It brings you back to yourself in me. It restores clarity. It softens what has become tense. It strengthens what has become weak. It helps your heart say yes to me again. That is why prayer nourishes you. Not because you always feel something dramatic, but because you return to the source. That is why Scripture nourishes you. Not because every verse feels easy, but because my truth slowly renews the mind. That is why forgiveness nourishes you. Not because the pain never mattered, but because bitterness is no longer allowed to poison the soil. That is why obedience nourishes you. Every time you obey me, even in something small, your spirit becomes more aligned with life. My beloved child, I want you to become more honest about what drains you. You do not need to explain it to everyone. You do not need to defend every boundary. But in my presence, be honest. Notice what leaves you restless. Notice what makes prayer feel distant. Notice what makes your words sharper, your thoughts darker, your heart harder. Then bring it to me. I am not asking you to fix your soul alone. I am teaching you to participate with my grace. I will show you what to release. I will show you what to receive. I will show you what to reduce, what to restore, and what to protect. There is wisdom in asking each day, Father, what is feeding me? Not only what did I do today, but what shaped my heart today. Not only what did I consume, but what did I allow to speak into me? My child, your soul needs better food than fear, noise, anger, and comparison. Your soul was made for truth. Your soul was made for love. Your soul was made for worship. Your soul was made to live close to me. So choose what nourishes you. Choose the quiet prayer over the loud distraction. Choose the honest pause over the careless reaction. Choose the word that heals over the word that wounds. Choose the habit that builds over the habit that drains. Choose the presence of God over the pressure of the world. And do not be discouraged if this takes time. Learning what nourishes your soul is part of growing in wisdom. At first you may notice only after you feel drained. Then little by little you will begin to notice before you are drained. That is growth. That is discernment waking up inside you. I will teach you gently. I will lead you patiently. I will help you choose life again and again. And as you begin choosing what nourishes your soul, you will see another truth unfold. Strength is not formed only in great moments. Victory is built in hidden habits and the quiet choices repeated when no one is watching until the soul becomes steady enough to stand when the greater test arrives. My beloved child, as you learn to choose what nourishes your soul, I want you to see how victory is truly formed. It is not usually born in the loud moment when everyone is watching. It is not created only when the danger appears, when the pressure rises, or when the test stands directly in front of you. Victory is formed in hidden habits. It is shaped in the quiet places. It is built in the choices no one applauds. It grows through the small acts of faithfulness, repeated when there is no audience, no praise, no visible reward, and no immediate sign that anything is changing. My child, do not underestimate what you do in secret. Heaven does not only look at the moment when the lion roars. Heaven sees the days before the lion. Heaven sees the prayers before the pressure. Heaven sees the obedience before the public test. Heaven sees the heart being formed before the world ever knows there is a battle. You often want sudden strength when life becomes difficult. You ask me for courage when the door feels heavy. You ask me for peace when the storm begins. You ask me for wisdom when the decision is already urgent. I hear those prayers, and I am merciful. But I also want to teach you this. The strength you desire in the crisis is often grown in the rhythm before the crisis. Do you see? A tree does not grow roots when the wind begins to shake it. The roots were growing long before the storm arrived. The storm only reveals whether the roots had gone deep. So it is with you. The hidden prayer is a root. The quiet obedience is a root. The choice to forgive is a root. The discipline to return to my word is a root. The refusal to feed bitterness is a root. The small yes you give me when no one notices is a root. And when the storm comes, what was formed beneath the surface begins to hold you steady. Remember Daniel. He did not become faithful only when the decree was signed against him. He did not suddenly discover prayer when danger entered his life. Long before the lion's den, he had already built a rhythm with me. Day after day, he opened his window, knelt, and prayed. Not because it was easy, not because the world around him always agreed, not because he was trying to perform for people. He prayed because his life was anchored in me. When the law was changed and pressure came against him, Daniel did not need to invent faith in a single moment. He simply continued what had already been formed in secret. His hidden habit became public strength. My beloved child, this is why ordinary days matter. The day that feels small is not small if it is shaping your spirit. The prayer that feels simple is not meaningless if it keeps you close. The habit that seems quiet is not wasted if it teaches your heart how to stand. Many people want the miracle of the lion's den, but they do not want the daily window of prayer. They want courage in the dangerous place, but they neglect communion in the hidden place. They want doors to open, but they do not want the daily alignment that prepares them to walk through those doors rightly. I am not saying this to burden you. I am inviting you to value what happens in secret. There is a hidden place where your future strength is being formed. It may not look impressive. It may look like waking up and choosing prayer before worry. It may look like closing your mouth when anger wants to answer. It may look like choosing truth when an easier lie would protect your image. It may look like sitting with me when you would rather run to distraction. These moments are forming you. They are training your heart. They are teaching your soul not to be ruled by every emotion that passes through it. My child, do not despise repetition. The world often celebrates dramatic moments, but I see the sacred power of what is repeated faithfully. A river shapes stone not by striking it once, but by flowing again and again. In the same way, the life of faith is shaped by returning to me again and again. One prayer may feel small, but prayer repeated becomes a pathway. One obedient step may feel small, but obedience repeated becomes stability. One guarded thought may feel small, but watchfulness repeated becomes discernment. One act of surrender may feel small, but surrender repeated becomes freedom. This is how victory is formed, not by pretending to be strong, but by becoming rooted, not by waiting for a crisis to become faithful, but by letting faithfulness become your daily rhythm. As it is written in Luke chapter 16, whoever is faithful in very little is faithful also in much. My beloved child, this is not only about outward tasks, it is about the inner life. If you learn to be faithful with your thoughts, your words, your desires, your time, and your responses, you are being prepared for greater weight. I do not build spiritual strength through occasional inspiration alone. I build it through steady agreement with me. I build it when you keep returning. I build it when you choose what is right, even when it feels unseen. I build it when your private life begins to match the light you ask me to release through you. Do not think I ignore the small things. I see the moment you almost reacted but chose peace. I see the moment you wanted to quit but whispered a prayer instead. I see the moment you closed the door to something that kept draining your spirit. I see the moment you came back to me after feeling distant. Those moments may not look like victory to the world, but they are victory in the hidden place. My child, there is a kind of strength that cannot be borrowed. Daniel could not borrow another man's prayer life in the den. He carried into that place what had already been formed inside him. The wise cannot give their oil to the careless at midnight. The rooted cannot lend their roots to the drifting when the storm begins. This is why I call you now to build with me in the secret place, not later. Not only when the pressure becomes heavy, now. Let your hidden habits become altars. Let your ordinary choices become places of worship. Let your quiet obedience become the foundation beneath the steps you will one day take in public. You may not see the full fruit yet, but I am forming something steady in you. I am teaching your heart how to remain when others panic. I am teaching your spirit how to listen when noise increases. I am teaching your soul how to stand when the test arrives. And when the day comes, you will not stand because you suddenly became strong. You will stand because you allowed me to build strength in you when no one was watching. My beloved child, keep tending the hidden place. Keep praying when it feels simple. Keep choosing life when no one celebrates it. Keep returning to truth when emotions try to lead you elsewhere. Victory is not only the moment the mouth of the lion is shut. Victory is the habit of meeting me before you ever enter the den. And yet, even as you build these hidden habits, remember this with humility. You are still human. There will be moments when your attention slips, when your heart drifts, when your steps wander slightly from the path. Do not let that become shame. Let it become the beginning of return. Because the next truth I must teach you is this: when you drift, return quickly. My beloved child, as I teach you the power of hidden habits, I also want you to hold this truth with humility. Even a heart that loves me can drift. Even a soul that prays can become distracted. Even someone who has built quiet rhythms with me can sometimes lose attention, grow tired, react too quickly, or step slightly out of alignment. Do not let that become shame. Let it become return. When you drift, return quickly. My child, drifting does not always begin with rebellion. Sometimes it begins with weariness. Sometimes it begins with disappointment that was never brought honestly into my presence. Sometimes it begins when you carry too much, speak too little, pray later than you should, and slowly become used to living at a distance. At first, the distance feels small. Then the small distance becomes familiar. Then what once troubled your spirit begins to feel normal. This is why I teach you to return quickly. Not because I am harsh, not because I am waiting to punish you, but because I know how far a soul can travel when it ignores small correction. A path does not become wrong only when it reaches the cliff. It becomes dangerous when the first quiet turn is ignored. A wound does not become infected only in one moment. It becomes worse when it is left unattended. A lamp does not go out suddenly if it has been neglected for days. The fading often begins long before the darkness is obvious, so when you sense the first dimming, come back. When you notice the first heaviness, come back. When your words become sharp, come back. When prayer feels distant, come back. When your peace begins to leak away, come back. My beloved child, I am not asking you to live terrified of every mistake. I am asking you to live sensitive enough to respond when I gently touch your heart. Sensitivity is not weakness. It is a gift. A heart that still feels correction is a heart that is still alive to my voice. Do not harden yourself when I correct you. Do not argue with the small warning. Do not cover misalignment with excuses. Come back quickly, and you will find mercy waiting before you even finish your sentence. As it is written in Proverbs chapter 24, though the righteous fall 7 times, they rise again. Do you see, my child, the righteous are not described as people who never fall. They are described as people who rise. Their strength is not in flawless walking, but in holy returning. That is what I am forming in you, a heart that returns, a heart that listens, a heart that does not make a home in the place where it stumbled. Remember Peter on the water. When his eyes were fixed on me, he walked where human strength could not carry him. But when he looked at the wind and the waves, fear entered. His steps weakened. He began to sink. Yet he did not wait until he disappeared beneath the water. He cried out, "Lord, save me." And I reached for him. I did not stand at a distance and say, "You should have done better." I did not leave him to sink because his faith had wavered. I reached out my hand and lifted him. My beloved child, learn from this. The danger was not that Peter felt fear. The danger would have been refusing to call on me while sinking. The power was not in pretending he was still strong. The power was in returning his cry to me the moment he knew he needed help. So, when you begin to sink, call. When you begin to drift, turn. When you begin to feel far, do not keep walking away because shame tells you it is too late. It is not too late to return. My child, shame will always try to slow your return. Shame says hide until you are better. Shame says fix yourself before you come back. Shame says God is tired of hearing from you. But shame does not speak my heart. My heart says, come, come while your hands are still shaking. Come while your thoughts are still confused. Come while your heart is still heavy. Come before distance becomes a lifestyle. I do not require you to clean yourself before you approach me. My presence is where cleansing begins. My mercy is where your feet find the path again. My love is where your heart remembers who it belongs to. My beloved child, there are small misalignments that must be corrected early, a hidden resentment, a secret comparison, a repeated delay, a quiet compromise, a thought you keep entertaining though you know it steals your peace. These may not look dangerous at first, but if they remain uncorrected, they can pull your heart farther than you intended to go. Do not wait for the damage to become visible before you listen. When I reveal something, it is mercy. When I expose a wrong turn, it is protection. When I make your spirit uncomfortable with something, it is not to shame you, but to lead you back to life. As it is written in Lamentations, let us examine our ways and return to the Lord. This examination is not meant to crush you. It is meant to realign you. It is the quiet moment when you pause and say, Father, where have I allowed my heart to move away from you? Where have I delayed obedience? Where have I allowed something small to take too much space? Ask me honestly. I will answer gently. I will show you what needs to be restored, but I will not abandon you in the process. My child, returning quickly is one of the strongest forms of spiritual maturity. Immaturity hides, justifies, delays, and blames. Maturity pauses, listens, turns, and comes back into alignment. It does not need a dramatic display. It simply says, Father, I see it now. I do not want to keep walking this way. Lead me back. That prayer is precious to me. It opens the door for grace to move again where resistance had begun to grow. Do not make returning complicated. Sometimes returning is a prayer whispered from a tired heart. Sometimes it is apologizing where pride wanted silence. Sometimes it is closing the door you should not have opened. Sometimes it is picking up the habit you neglected. Sometimes it is choosing peace after days of inner noise. Small returns matter. Each return keeps the distance from becoming greater. Each return protects the flame. Each return reminds your soul that my mercy is stronger than your wandering. My beloved child, you do not honor me by pretending you never drift. You honor me by refusing to stay away when you realize you have drifted. You honor me when you respond to light. You honor me when you let correction bring you closer instead of making you hide. This is the covenant of continual return. You walk with me. You learn. You stumble at times. You rise again. You return again. You keep your heart soft before me. And over time you become steadier, not because you never needed mercy, but because you learned how quickly to run back to the source of mercy. So do not let one wrong step become a long season of distance. Do not let one careless word become a hardened pattern. Do not let one neglected prayer become weeks of silence. Come back quickly. Let me realign you while your heart is still tender. I am not done with you. I am not ashamed of you. I am not surprised by your weakness. I am teaching you how to walk with me in truth. And as you learn to return quickly, you will be ready to receive the next truth. You do not need to be perfect to be used by me. You need a heart that listens, returns, and remains willing to be shaped by my hands. My beloved child, now that you understand the power of returning quickly, let me remove another weight from your heart. You do not need to be perfect to be used by me. You do not need to carry a flawless image before I can place purpose in your hands. You do not need to erase every weakness before my grace can work through your life. I am not searching for perfect performance. I am looking for a surrendered heart. My child, perfectionism has worn the clothes of holiness in many minds, but it does not produce true closeness with me. It often produces hiding. It tells you to wait until you are stronger, cleaner, wiser, and more impressive before you come near. It tells you that one mistake cancels your calling. It tells you that your weakness makes you unusable. That voice is not my voice. My voice calls you closer. My voice restores. My voice corrects without crushing. My voice says, come, let me shape what you cannot fix alone. Do you see, my beloved child, I do not excuse what harms you. I do not ignore what needs to be healed. I do not pretend misalignment is harmless. But I also do not throw away a heart because it still needs formation. A potter does not abandon the clay because it is not yet a vessel. He keeps his hands upon it. He presses, he smooths, he reshapes, he restores what is bent out of form. So it is with you. You are not finished because you are still being formed. You are not disqualified because you still need grace. You are not rejected because I am still correcting you. As it is written in 2 Corinthians, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." My child, this is not an excuse to remain weak by choice. It is an invitation to stop hiding your weakness from the one who knows how to fill it with strength. You have looked at your unfinished places and thought, "How could God use me like this?" You have looked at your past and thought, "Maybe someone else is more qualified." You have looked at your fears and thought, "I am not ready." But I look deeper than your doubts. I see what surrender can become. I see the testimony hidden inside the struggle. I see the tenderness that pain has not destroyed. I see the obedience beginning to rise. Remember Moses. When I called him, he did not stand before me with easy confidence. He questioned his ability. He looked at his own weakness. He thought his voice was not enough. He gave me reasons why someone else might be better. Yet I did not call him because he felt strong. I called him because I knew what my presence could do through a yielded life. The staff in his hand looked ordinary, but in my hand it became a sign. His voice felt limited, but with my authority it carried deliverance. His fear was real, but my calling was greater. My beloved child, I can use what you think is ordinary. I can breathe through what you think is limited. I can place strength where you only see hesitation. The question is not whether you feel perfect. The question is whether you will let me lead you. I do not need your image. I need your yes. Not a loud yes, not a polished yes, not a yes that understands every detail, a humble yes, a trembling yes. A yes that says, "Father, I still need you, but I will not run from your call." That yes is precious to me. My child, be careful not to confuse conviction with condemnation. Conviction draws you toward life. Condemnation pushes you into hiding. Conviction says, "This must change, and I will help you change it." Condemnation says, "You are hopeless, so do not even try." Conviction carries light. Condemnation carries darkness. When I correct you, I am not ending your story. I am aligning it. When I reveal what needs healing, I am not humiliating you. I am freeing you. When I call you to grow, I am not saying you are worthless. I am saying there is more life in you than you have been living. This is why you must stop waiting for a perfect version of yourself before you obey me. If you wait until no fear remains, you will never move. If you wait until no weakness appears, you will never speak. If you wait until every question is gone, you will never take the first step. Faith does not begin when you feel complete. Faith begins when you trust the one who is complete. My beloved child, I have always worked through people in process. David had a heart after me, yet his story was not without failure. Peter loved me deeply, yet he denied me in fear. Thomas struggled to believe, yet I met him with mercy. Paul carried a past that could have buried him in shame, yet my grace made him a messenger of truth. Do you see the pattern? I do not use people because they have no history. I use surrendered lives because my mercy becomes visible through them. Your scars do not have to become your prison. In my hands, they can become places where compassion grows. Your weakness does not have to become your identity. In my presence, it can become the place where dependence becomes strong. Your past does not have to hold the final word. In my grace, it can become proof that I restore what others thought was beyond reach. But my child, this requires honesty. Do not pretend, do not perform, do not cover the broken place with religious language while refusing to let me touch it. Bring me the unfinished part. Bring me the fear. Bring me the repeated struggle. Bring me the shame that keeps whispering you are not worthy. I am not asking you to display your wounds to the world. I am asking you to stop hiding them from me. I heal what is surrendered. I strengthen what is placed in my hands. I refine what remains close to my fire. My beloved child, there is freedom waiting for you when you stop trying to prove you are perfect and begin trusting that I am faithful. You will no longer waste your energy maintaining an image. You will no longer live afraid that one weakness will expose you beyond repair. You will learn to walk with humility because you know you are still growing, and with confidence because you know I am still with you. That is spiritual strength, not pretending, not boasting, not hiding, walking honestly with me. When you live this way, you become safe for others. Your life no longer says, I have never struggled. Your life says, I know the God who lifts, restores, teaches, and keeps. That kind of testimony carries warmth. It does not push people away. It invites them to believe that mercy is still available. My child, I will continue shaping you. I will continue correcting you. I will continue calling you higher. But I will not wait until you look flawless to begin using what I have placed inside you. The light does not need a perfect lamp to shine. It needs a lamp surrendered to the flame. So give me your yes today. Give me your honest heart. Give me the parts you thought made you unusable. I know how to work through weakness without glorifying weakness. I know how to restore without denying truth. I know how to lift you without making you proud. You do not need to be perfect to be used by me. You need to remain teachable. You need to keep returning. You need to let my hands shape you as you walk. And as you receive this mercy, you will be ready for the next truth. I did not form you to stand alone with your calling. You are not an isolated island. You are part of a greater body, a living purpose, and a unity I am preparing around you. My beloved child, now that you understand you do not need to be perfect to be used by me, let me take you into another truth. I did not form you to carry your calling alone. I did not place gifts inside you so that you would become an isolated island, surrounded by fear, guarded by disappointment, and separated from the people I am preparing around you. You are not an isolated island. You are part of a greater body. You are part of a living purpose. You are part of something I am building beyond what your eyes can fully see. My child, pain has taught many hearts to withdraw. Rejection has taught them to protect themselves by staying distant. Betrayal has taught them to mistake isolation for safety. They say, I do not need anyone. They say, I can do this by myself. They say, if I stay alone, no one can wound me again. I understand why the heart says this. I have seen the wounds behind those walls. But isolation is not the same as healing. Distance is not the same as peace. A closed heart may feel protected for a season, but it cannot fully receive what I intend to send through the right people. My beloved child, I am not asking you to open your life carelessly to everyone. Wisdom still matters. Discernment still matters. Boundaries still matter. But I am asking you not to let old pain convince you that every connection is a threat. There are people who drained you, but there are also people I will use to strengthen you. There were relationships that confused you, but there are also relationships that will help bring clarity. There were voices that wounded you, but there are also voices that will remind you of truth. Do not let what hurt you become the ruler of what I am trying to build around you. As it is written in 1 Corinthians chapter 12, the body is one, though it has many parts, and all the parts together form one body. Do you see, my child? The body is not made of one part trying to become everything. The hand is not the eye. The foot is not the heart. The ear is not the shoulder. Each part is different, yet each part belongs. This is how I designed my people. Different gifts, different stories, different assignments, different strengths, yet one life flowing through them when they are joined in me. You do not need to become someone else to belong. You do not need to copy another person's voice, carry another person's assignment, or prove that your portion is as visible as theirs. I place something in you that has its own sound, its own shape, its own purpose. But your part reaches fullness when it is connected rightly. A hand disconnected from the body cannot do what it was created to do. A branch cut from the tree cannot keep producing fruit by itself. A stone removed from the foundation cannot hold its place in the house. In the same way, a soul that refuses all connection may survive for a while, but it will not flourish in the fullness I intended. My child, you have sometimes believed that needing others is weakness. But the truth is, humility receives help without losing dignity. Wisdom knows when to stand alone and when to walk with those I have placed nearby. Maturity does not prove itself by carrying every burden in silence. Maturity learns to recognize the people who carry my peace, my truth, and my timing. Remember Elijah. After great conflict and exhaustion, he believed he was alone. He said he was the only one left. His weariness had narrowed his sight. Pain made the world feel smaller than it truly was. But I told him there were still many who had not bowed to darkness. He was not as alone as he felt. So it is with you. There have been moments when you thought no one understood your faith, your burden, your calling, or the quiet work I was doing inside you. You felt like the only one trying to keep the flame alive. You felt like the only one trying to stay honest, stay pure, stay surrendered, and keep walking when no one saw the cost. But my beloved child, you are not alone. I have people you have not yet recognized. I have connections that are not random. I have voices that will not pull you away from me, but help you hear me more clearly. I have relationships that will not compete with your light, but strengthen it. Yet before I bring you into deeper unity, I must heal the part of you that expects every connection to become pain. I must teach your heart that not all nearness is danger. I must show you how to discern between attachment that binds and connection that gives life. There is a difference. Some connections pull you away from your center in me. Some connections call you back to it. Some relationships feed insecurity. Some relationships awaken courage. Some voices make your soul frantic. Some voices help your soul become still enough to obey. This is why you must walk with me in discernment. Do not chase people from loneliness. Do not reject people from fear. Bring your relationships before me. Ask me what is of my spirit and what is only familiar pain repeating itself. My child, the right connection will not require you to abandon your obedience. It will not ask you to dim the truth I placed inside you. It will not make you smaller so another person can feel larger. The right connection will help you stand more fully in the part I have given you. That is kingdom connection. It does not erase you. It aligns you. It does not swallow your identity. It reveals it more clearly in the greater body. My beloved child, the enemy often attacks unity because he understands what happens when my people stand together in the right spirit. He knows that isolated hearts become tired more easily. He knows that a lonely soul is more vulnerable to discouragement. He knows that when you carry everything alone, you begin to confuse exhaustion with failure. But when the right people stand together under my presence, strength multiplies, encouragement rises, wisdom is shared, burdens become lighter, vision becomes clearer. The flame in one heart helps another heart keep burning. This is not human dependence taking the place of me. This is my design flowing through the body. I remain the source, but I often send strength through people. I remain the shepherd, but I still gather sheep into a flock. I remain the vine, but branches grow together from the life that comes through me. So do not despise the body. Do not reject unity because someone once misused closeness. Do not treat isolation as holiness. There is a hidden pride that can disguise itself as independence. It says I need no one. But love says I belong to God, and because I belong to Him, I can receive what He sends through His people. My child, I am preparing you for connection that is not built on neediness, performance, or fear. I am preparing you for unity that flows from identity. You will not enter it begging to be completed by people. You will enter it knowing you are loved by me and therefore able to love rightly, serve humbly, and receive wisely. This is how the greater work begins. First, I tend the flame in you, then I teach you to guard it, then I teach you to nourish it. Then I show you that your flame is not meant to burn alone forever. It is meant to join with other lights until darkness has less room to remain. My beloved child, be willing to let me place you rightly. Be willing to let me connect you wisely. Be willing to let me heal the fear that says every hand reaching toward you will harm you. I know how to separate what is false from what is faithful. I know how to remove what drains and send what strengthens. You are not an isolated island. You are a living part of a greater body. And as you begin to understand this, you will be ready for the next truth. What I call covenant is not merely a promise spoken over you. It is a living union where my life begins to shape your rhythm, your steps, your connections, and the purpose you are being prepared to carry. My beloved child, now that you understand you are not an isolated island, let me speak to you about the bond that holds your life together in me. What I call covenant is not only a promise spoken over you. It is a living union between my heart and yours, between my purpose and your steps, between my breath and the way you move through each day. Covenant is not distant. Covenant is alive. It is not something you admire from far away. It is something you live inside. My child, many people think of covenant as a vow made once and then remembered only when life becomes difficult. But what I establish with you is deeper than that. I do not simply place my name near your life. I place my life within you. I do not merely promise to help you from a distance. I draw you into communion where my spirit begins to shape your desires, your thoughts, your responses, and your direction. This is why you cannot understand covenant only with the mind. You must receive it with the heart. As it is written in Galatians chapter 2, it is no longer I who live, but Christ lives in me. My beloved child, this is not the language of religion only. This is the language of union. It means your life is no longer meant to move by human strength alone. You are invited to live from the presence within you. Do you see? When you live outside covenant, you carry everything as if it depends on you. You try to protect yourself by your own wisdom. You try to build your future with your own strength. You try to fix your heart by your own effort. You try to prove your worth by your own performance. But covenant changes the source. You are no longer living from emptiness trying to reach me. You are living from union because I have drawn near to you. You are no longer a branch trying to create life by itself. You are a branch called to remain in the vine. As I said in John chapter 15, abide in me and I in you. A branch cannot bear fruit by itself unless it remains in the vine. That is covenant, remaining, receiving, responding, living from the flow of my life instead of the pressure of your own striving. My child, a branch does not force fruit by anxiety. It bears fruit by staying connected. It receives what it cannot produce alone. It draws life quietly from the vine day after day until what is hidden begins to appear outwardly. So it is with you. You do not become fruitful by exhausting yourself away from me. You become fruitful by remaining in me. You do not become strong by pretending you need nothing. You become strong by letting my life move through your weakness. You become whole by staying near enough for my spirit to shape you. This is why covenant requires intimacy, not performance, not distance, intimacy. You cannot live in covenant while treating me as an emergency door you open only when everything else fails. I am not a tool for crisis. I am your life. I am your source. I am the one who walks with you in the morning, steadies you in the afternoon, and keeps you through the night. My beloved child, when covenant becomes living union, even small parts of your day begin to carry meaning. The way you speak matters. The way you forgive matters. The way you wait matters. The way you respond to pressure matters. Not because I am measuring you with cold eyes, but because every part of your life is now invited into communion with me. Nothing surrendered to me is ordinary. A quiet decision can become worship. A gentle answer can become obedience. A hidden sacrifice can become holy. A simple step taken with me can become part of a larger purpose. This is how covenant transforms daily life. It teaches you that faith is not only what you say in prayer, it is how you live after the prayer. It is how you carry my presence into the places where no one sees you. It is how you remain connected when emotions change, when people misunderstand, when the road becomes longer than you expected. Remember Ruth. She stood at a crossroad where leaving would have been understandable. Her future looked uncertain, yet she chose covenant love. She said, "Where you go, I will go. Your people will be my people, and your God will be my God." That choice was quiet, but it carried weight. It joined her life to a path she could not yet understand, and through that path I wove her into a story greater than what she could see. Do you see, my child? Covenant often begins with a faithful yes before the full picture is revealed. It is a decision to stay aligned with my heart when the easier road is to turn back. It is a willingness to walk with me beyond what feels familiar. It is love that becomes loyalty, and loyalty that becomes direction. I am not asking you for a shallow connection. I am calling you into a union that shapes everything. When you belong to me in covenant, your life is no longer only about survival, comfort, or personal success. Your life becomes a place where my purpose can move. This does not erase who you are. It reveals who you truly are. Some fear that surrendering to me will make them lose themselves. But my beloved child, you only lose the false self, the self built by fear, pride, control, shame, and pain. What I restore is the true self I formed before the world taught you to hide. Covenant does not make you smaller. It brings you into alignment. It teaches your life to breathe with my rhythm. It teaches your choices to agree with my truth. It teaches your relationships to carry my love, not merely your need. My child, this union will also change how you connect with others. When you are rooted in me, you no longer use people to fill what only I can fill. You no longer enter relationships from panic, emptiness, or the fear of being forgotten. You begin to connect from a place of identity. You can love without clinging. You can serve without losing yourself. You can receive without making people your source. That is the beauty of covenant. First, you are joined to me. Then from that union you can be joined rightly with others. If you skip the first, the second becomes confused. But when your heart is anchored in me, you will recognize the connections that carry peace, purpose, humility, and truth. My beloved child, let this settle within you. I am not calling you into a distant religion. I am calling you into living union. I want my heartbeat to shape your rhythm. I want my peace to guard your decisions. I want my love to become the source from which you speak. Move, forgive, build, and begin again. So abide in me, return to me, walk with me. Let covenant become more than a word you understand. Let it become the life you live. And as you learn to live from this union, you will be ready for the next truth. Unity does not mean becoming identical to everyone around you. I do not create copies of my children. I bring distinct parts into harmony so that each one can stand in its rightful place and still move together in one purpose. My beloved child, now that you understand covenant as a living union with me, let me guide you into the next truth with gentleness. Unity does not mean becoming identical to everyone around you. I do not create copies. I do not erase the sound I placed in one soul so that it can imitate another. I bring different parts into harmony so that each one can carry its own portion and still move in one purpose. Unity is not uniformity. It is alignment. It is agreement with my heart. It is many lives turning toward the same source while remaining faithful to the distinct grace I placed within each one. My child, comparison has wounded many people because they misunderstood unity. They thought belonging meant becoming like someone else. They thought being useful meant sounding like another voice, carrying another gift, walking another path, or standing in another position. But that is not my design. When you try to become someone else, you leave the place where I gave you authority. When you despise your portion, you weaken the very part of the body I entrusted to you. As it is written in 1 Corinthians chapter 12, there are many parts but one body. The eye cannot say to the hand, I do not need you, and the head cannot say to the feet, I do not need you. Do you see, my beloved child? Difference is not a threat to unity. Difference is necessary for unity to become complete. The hand does not need to become the eye to be valuable. The foot does not need to become the mouth to matter. The heart does not need to be visible to be essential. Every part carries meaning when it remains connected to the life flowing through the body. So it is with you. You may not carry the gift another person carries. You may not have the same voice, the same visibility, the same assignment, or the same path. But that does not make your portion small in my eyes. A hidden part can be vital. A quiet role can carry great weight. A simple act of faithfulness can hold together more than you realize. My child, do not confuse visibility with value. The world often honors what is seen quickly. I honor what is faithful. The world often celebrates what is loud. I also see what is steady. The world often notices the part at the front. I also bless the part that supports the whole in silence. Remember the body. The breath is not seen yet. Without it, the body cannot live. The roots of a tree are hidden underground, yet the branches depend on them. The foundation of a house is not admired like the windows or the roof, yet without the foundation, the whole structure cannot stand. Do you understand what I am showing you? Your place matters. Your portion matters. Your obedience matters. You do not need to become louder to be useful. You need to become faithful where I have placed you. My beloved child, unity becomes beautiful when each part stops fighting for another position and begins to serve from its rightful one. A choir does not become powerful because every voice sings the same note in the same way. It becomes beautiful when different voices listen, blend, and follow one rhythm. The deep voice does not need to envy the high voice. The quiet harmony does not need to compete with the melody. Each one contributes to a sound greater than itself. That is how my kingdom moves, not through sameness, through harmony, not through competition, through surrender, not through one person trying to carry everything, through many parts yielded to one spirit. This is why pride damages unity. Pride says my part must be noticed. Pride says my gift must be greater. Pride says, if I am not at the front, I do not matter. But humility says, Father, place me where I can serve your purpose best. Humility says, I do not need to be everything. I need to be faithful. My child, humility does not mean you think less of what I gave you. It means you understand that what I gave you belongs to a greater whole. You can value your gift without worshiping it. You can honor another person's gift without despising your own. You can celebrate someone else's place without feeling that yours has been taken away. There is freedom in this. You no longer need to compete for worth. You no longer need to copy another person's calling. You no longer need to measure your hidden obedience against someone else's public fruit. You can stand where I placed you and breathe. My beloved child, the enemy loves to use comparison to pull people out of their position. If he cannot make you abandon me completely, he will try to make you abandon your assignment by making you resent it. He will whisper that your part is too small. He will tell you that someone else is more important. He will make you stare at another person's field until you neglect the soil beneath your own feet. Do not listen. The field I gave you has seed in it. The place I gave you has purpose in it. The portion I gave you has grace for it. You do not need grace for another person's assignment. You need grace to be faithful with yours. Remember Bezalel, the craftsman I filled with my spirit to help build the tabernacle. He was not standing before crowds as a king. He was not leading armies into battle. His work required skill, patience, detail, and faithfulness. He shaped materials others might have overlooked. He worked with his hands. He brought beauty into the place where my presence would dwell. His assignment was not small because it was detailed. It was holy because I filled it with purpose. So it is with you. The work I give may not always look dramatic, but when it is done in obedience, it becomes sacred. A word spoken at the right time can be sacred. A quiet support given to someone weary can be sacred. A hidden task done with love can be sacred. A steady presence in a season of confusion can be sacred. Do not despise what I make holy. My child, unity also requires trust. You must trust that I know how to arrange the body. You must trust that I know where each part belongs. You must trust that I am not confused about your design. When I place you near people who are different from you, do not immediately feel threatened. Ask me what I am forming. Ask me what you are meant to learn. Ask me how your portion can join with theirs without losing its shape. Unity does not erase your identity. It refines it. It places your life where your gift can serve and be strengthened by the gifts of others. A single thread can be beautiful, but when many threads are woven together by a wise hand, they become a covering. Each thread keeps its color, yet together they form something stronger than any thread alone. This is what I am doing with my people. I am weaving lives together not to confuse them, but to cover, strengthen, and reveal my purpose. My beloved child, let go of the fear that unity will make you disappear. In my hands, true unity will not bury your light. It will place your light where it can shine rightly. You will not be lost in the body. You will become more fully yourself as you remain connected to the life flowing through me. So stand in your place, honor the place of others, release comparison, reject pride, receive the peace of belonging. You are not called to be everyone. You are called to be faithful as the one I formed. And when each part stands rightly, connection begins to carry life. The scattered pieces begin to strengthen one another. What was separated begins to breathe again. This is where I will take you next, my child, into the truth that right connection brings life. My beloved child, now that you understand unity is not uniformity, let me show you why right connection matters so deeply. When each part stands in the place I designed, life begins to move in ways that isolated strength could never produce. Right connection brings life. Not every connection carries life, and not every closeness comes from me. Some connections drain your spirit. Some connections confuse your direction. Some connections pull you back into old patterns you were finally beginning to leave. But there are also connections I prepare with wisdom, timing, and purpose. These do not take you away from me. They help you recognize my work more clearly. My child, you must learn to discern the difference. Do not do every voice simply because you feel lonely. Do not close your heart to every person simply because you were once wounded. Neither loneliness nor fear should choose your connections. Let my spirit teach you what carries life and what carries confusion. The right connection will not make you smaller. It will not require you to abandon truth. It will not demand that you dim the light I placed in you so another person can feel more comfortable. The right connection will strengthen what is holy, protect what is pure, and help you move more fully into the purpose I have prepared. My beloved child, there are relationships that feel pleasant but leave your spirit tired. There are conversations that feel familiar, but stir insecurity. There are circles that keep you busy, but never help you grow. Do not confuse activity with life. Do not confuse company with connection. Do not confuse being surrounded with being rightly joined. A branch can be close to other branches on the ground, but if it is disconnected from the tree, it cannot bear fruit. A stone can lie near other stones, but if it is not set into the wall, it carries no shared strength. A bone can rest beside another bone, but until life connects them in the right order, they remain only scattered pieces. Remember the valley of dry bones in Ezekiel chapter 37. What was before the prophet looked hopeless. Bones were scattered across the valley. They were near one another, yet they were not living. They were present, but not connected. They existed in the same place, yet they did not carry breath, movement, or purpose. Then I spoke. Bone came to bone. Each piece found its place. What was scattered began to be joined. What was separated began to take form. What looked like remains became a body prepared for breath. Do you see? My child, before fullness of life came right, connection had to be restored. The bones did not choose random places. They were brought together according to design. A hand did not attach where a foot belonged. A shoulder did not take the place of a knee. Each part had to be joined rightly before the breath entered, and the army stood. So it is with you. There are parts of your life I am bringing into order. There are people I will connect you with not because of chance, but because of purpose. There are conversations, assignments, and relationships that will begin to make sense only when you see how I am placing each part in its rightful position. My beloved child, right connection does not always arrive loudly. Sometimes it comes through a person who speaks one sentence that awakens courage. Sometimes it comes through a quiet friendship that teaches your heart it can trust again. Sometimes it comes through someone who carries a gift different from yours, and together the work becomes stronger. Do not despise the people who do not look like what you expected. I may send strength through someone humble. I may send wisdom through someone quiet. I may send encouragement through someone who has walked through fire and learned to carry peace. I may send correction through someone who loves truth more than comfort. Right connection is not always about comfort. It is about life. Some people will comfort your weakness but never call you higher. Some people will agree with your fear because they are afraid too. Some people will keep you where they met you because your growth makes them uncomfortable. That is not life-giving connection. A life-giving connection does not flatter your chains. It helps you walk out of them. It does not feed your excuses. It reminds you who you are in me. It does not compete with your calling. It strengthens your courage to obey. My child, I know that connection can feel risky after disappointment. You may wonder, what if I trust wrongly? What if I am hurt again? What if I open my heart and regret it? Bring those fears to me. I will not mock them. I know what you have survived. I know the places where trust became painful. But I also know that fear cannot be allowed to become the gatekeeper of your future. Let wisdom guard the gate, not fear. Wisdom listens for my peace. Wisdom observes fruit over time. Wisdom does not rush intimacy. Wisdom does not ignore warning signs. Wisdom also does not reject a gift from me simply because the heart is afraid. There are people who are not assigned to your future, and I will give you grace to release them. There are people who are assigned to walk with you for a season, and I will give you grace to receive them. There are people who will not complete you because only I can do that, but they will complement the work I am doing in you. This is kingdom connection, not dependency, not control, not neediness, not performance. Life flowing through rightly joined parts. As it is written in Ephesians, the whole body grows as each part does its work. Growth happens when connection is ordered, when each part supplies what it has received, when love becomes the bond and truth becomes the structure. My beloved child, right connection also requires humility. You must be willing to receive from someone else. You must be willing to admit that you do not carry every answer. You must be willing to honor another person's grace without feeling threatened by it. A proud heart cannot stay rightly connected for long because pride always wants to be the center. But humility, says Father, join me where you desire. Humility says I can learn. Humility says I can serve. Humility says I do not need to be everything in order to matter. When this humility lives in you, the right connections will not make you feel lost. They will help you become more aligned. You will learn when to speak and when to listen, when to lead and when to support, when to receive and when to pour out, when to walk beside someone and when to release them back into my hands. My child, I am arranging more than you know. I am not only healing you as an individual, I am preparing you to move with others in the right rhythm. The flame in you will not be less because it stands near another flame. Light is not diminished when it joins light. It grows brighter, so ask me for the right connections. Ask me for discernment. Ask me for a heart that is open but not careless, guarded but not closed-wise but not afraid. I will teach you whom to walk with. I will teach you whom to bless from a distance. I will teach you which doors carry peace and which doors carry confusion. I will teach you to recognize the sound of life, and as right connection begins to form around you, you will notice something powerful. What felt heavy alone will become lighter in agreement. What felt slow alone will begin to move with strength. What felt scattered will begin to align. This is the next truth I am leading you into, my beloved child. Acceleration does not come from striving harder by yourself. It comes from alignment with me, with purpose, and with the people I have placed in the right rhythm beside you. My beloved child, now that you are beginning to understand the power of right connection, let me show you why some things in your life have felt slow for so long. It is not always because I have withheld movement. It is not always because the door is closed. Sometimes what you call delay is the result of misalignment. Acceleration comes from alignment, not from striving harder, not from forcing every door, not from exhausting yourself while trying to carry what was never meant to rest on your shoulders alone. My child, there is a rhythm in my kingdom that the world often does not understand. The world teaches you to push, rush, compete, and prove. It tells you that if you want to go farther, you must work harder, move faster, and carry more. But I am teaching you another way. I am teaching you to move rightly. A person can run quickly in the wrong direction and still arrive nowhere. A person can labor endlessly outside my timing and still feel empty. A person can gather many connections and still remain disconnected from purpose. But when a life is aligned with me, with truth, with the right people, and with the right season, movement begins to carry grace. What once felt heavy becomes lighter. What once felt scattered begins to come together. What once required endless strain begins to move with a strength you did not produce by yourself. Do you see, my beloved child, I am not calling you to be lazy. I am not asking you to stop acting. I am not teaching you passivity. I am teaching you the difference between movement born from pressure and movement born from alignment. Pressure drains, alignment carries. Pressure makes you feel as though everything depends on you. Alignment reminds you that I am the source, and you are walking within the current of my will. As it is written in Amos chapter 3, can two walk together unless they are agreed? This is not only about people walking beside one another, it is about the deeper truth of rhythm. Agreement creates movement. Alignment creates direction. When your heart agrees with me, when your choices agree with truth, when your steps agree with the season I have appointed, your life begins to move with a different kind of strength. My child, there have been times when you asked me to speed things up, but I was first aligning what was out of place. You wanted the door to open, but I was healing the fear that would have made you misuse the opportunity. You wanted the connection to arrive, but I was teaching you to stop clinging to what did not carry life. You wanted the assignment to grow, but I was strengthening the hidden habits that would keep you steady when growth came. I was not ignoring your desire. I was preparing your alignment, because speed without alignment can become danger. Increase without foundation can become pressure. Open doors without discernment can become confusion. Connections without truth can become bondage. So I work beneath the surface first. I adjust your heart. I purify your motive. I steady your obedience. I teach you to listen before running. This is my love for you. Remember the people of Israel before Jericho. The walls were strong. The city looked impossible. Human effort alone could have pushed against those walls for years and still grown weary. But I did not give them a strategy based on human force. I gave them a rhythm of obedience. They walked when I said walk. They remained quiet when I said remain quiet. They shouted when the appointed moment came. The wall did not fall because they rushed. It fell because they aligned. They moved together. They followed my instruction. They trusted timing that did not look logical to human eyes. And when the moment came, what had seemed immovable yielded before my power. So it is with you. There are walls you have tried to move through, effort alone, walls of fear, walls of delay, walls of confusion, walls of old patterns, walls that seem to resist every attempt. But my child, some walls will not fall because you push harder. They will fall when your steps come into alignment with my instruction. Stop asking only, how can I move faster? Ask, Father, am I moving with you? Ask, am I in the right place? Ask, am I carrying what you assigned to me, or what fear placed on me? Ask, am I connected to what gives life, or tied to what drains me? These questions are not meant to slow you down forever. They are meant to bring you into the kind of movement that can last. My beloved child, alignment often begins with surrender. You may need to surrender a timeline. You may need to surrender a relationship that keeps pulling your heart backward. You may need to surrender the need to be understood by everyone. You may need to surrender the belief that everything must happen through your own strength. Surrender is not losing your future. Surrender is allowing me to place your future in the right order. When a sail is turned in the right direction, the wind can carry the boat farther than rowing alone. But if the sail is turned against the wind, even great effort becomes exhausting. In the same way, when your heart turns toward my will, my grace begins to carry what your effort could never carry alone. You still participate, you still obey, you still take steps, but you are no longer fighting the current of heaven, you are moving with it. My child, this is the acceleration I desire for you. Not the frantic speed that burns the soul out, not the restless urgency that makes peace disappear, not the kind of increase that leaves you more anxious than before. I desire holy acceleration, movement with peace, progress with clarity, growth with roots, open doors with discernment, right connections with humility. When I accelerate you, I do not detach you from my presence. I pull you deeper into it. When I move you forward, I do not call you to forget the hidden place. I teach you to carry the hidden place with you. When I bring increase, I do not do it so pride can rise. I do it so purpose can serve. This is why humility must remain with alignment. If your heart becomes proud when movement comes, you will begin to step out of rhythm. If you begin to believe the increase came from you alone, you will disconnect from the source that carried you. Stay low before me. Stay listening. Stay thankful. Stay teachable. My beloved child, you will know you are moving in my alignment when the movement carries the fruit of my spirit. It may still require work, but it will not empty your soul. It may still require courage, but it will not be driven by panic. It may still stretch you, but it will also draw you closer to me. The right acceleration will not make you less prayerful. It will make you more dependent. It will not make you careless. It will make you more discerning. It will not make you self-important. It will make you more aware that everything good comes from my hand. So do not fear movement when it comes from me. Do not cling to the old pace simply because it feels familiar. There are seasons when I prepare slowly, and there are seasons when what has been prepared begins to move quickly. When that time comes, do not panic. Stay aligned. Keep your heart near me. Keep your connections clean. Keep your obedience simple. I know how to carry you forward. I know how to bring the right people at the right time. I know how to open what no effort could force open. And as I align your life, you will begin to understand the next truth. When I lift you, it is never only for you. When I bring increase, it is not so you can stand above others, but so you can reach farther, serve deeper, and lift others into the life I am releasing. My beloved child, now that you understand acceleration comes from alignment, let me speak to the part of you that wonders what increase is truly for. When I lift you, it is not so you can stand above others and look down. When I open doors, it is not so you can close them behind you. When I give you strength, it is not so you can forget the weary. You are lifted to lift others. You are blessed to become a blessing. You are strengthened so your hands can help steady someone else. My child, the world often teaches people to measure elevation by how far they move away from others. It says success means being above ahead, unreachable, admired, and separate. But my kingdom does not move that way. In my kingdom, the higher I take you, the deeper your humility must become. The more I entrust to you, the more love must govern how you carry it. If increase makes you proud, it has not yet become purpose. If blessing makes you forget mercy, it has not yet become maturity. If an open door makes you despise, those still waiting your heart must return to me. My beloved child, I do not raise you so your name becomes louder. I raise you so my love can reach farther through you. I do not give you influence so you can build a throne for yourself. I give it so you can become a bridge, a path, a hand extended to someone who has not yet found the way forward. As it is written in Matthew chapter 10, freely you have received, freely give. Do you see, my child? What comes to you from my hand is not meant to stop with you. Grace that is received rightly begins to flow. Mercy that is understood becomes mercy offered. Comfort that has healed you becomes comfort you can carry to another wounded heart. Remember Joseph. He was not lifted from the pit to the palace simply so he could wear authority. He was not carried through betrayal, prison, waiting, and interpretation only so he could finally prove he was better than those who wounded him. When the appointed time came, I placed him in a position where he could preserve life. The famine did not affect him alone. The provision was not for him alone. His elevation became shelter for many. Even the family that once rejected him would one day be fed through the place I had prepared for him. My beloved child, that is how I work. I can take what harmed you, heal it in my presence, and then use your restored life as a source of wisdom, provision, compassion, and strength for others. I do not waste the road you have walked. I do not waste the tears you brought to me. I do not waste the nights when you thought you were only surviving. I was forming capacity. I was teaching you compassion. I was enlarging your heart. I was preparing you to carry blessing without turning it into pride. My child, some of the strength I am building in you will one day become someone else's encouragement. Some of the wisdom born through your waiting will help another person remain steady. Some of the mercy I gave you when you stumbled will make you gentle with someone who is trying to return. Some of the endurance you learned in silence will become a light for someone who feels abandoned in their own night. This is why your healing matters, not only for your peace, not only for your future, but because healed people can become safe places for others to breathe. Do not misunderstand me. I am not saying you must carry everyone. You are not the Savior. You are not the source. You cannot become the answer to every need around you. Only I can be that. But when your heart is aligned with me, you can become a vessel. You can become a witness. You can become a bridge that points others back to the one who held you. A bridge does not keep people for itself. It helps them cross. A lamp does not worship its own light. It helps others see. A cup does not create the water. It carries what has been poured into it. So it is with you. You are not called to be the source. You are called to remain connected to the source and pour from what I provide. My beloved child, when I lift you, protect your heart from the temptation to forget where I found you. Remember the hidden place. Remember the prayers whispered with tired breath. Remember the mercy that met you before you had anything to offer. Remember the grace that restored you when you thought you had drifted too far. Remembrance will keep you humble. Gratitude will keep you clean. Love will keep your increase from becoming self-centered. The higher the door, the lower the posture must remain. Not low in shame, low in worship, low in dependence. Low in the understanding that every good thing in your life has been carried by my hand. As it is written in Proverbs chapter 11, whoever refreshes others will be refreshed. This is not a transaction. It is the flow of my kingdom. When you become a channel of life, I continue to pour life through you. When you bless without clinging, I keep your heart from becoming a stagnant pool. When you give from obedience, not from performance, you remain in the movement of grace. My child, do not wait until you feel powerful before you encourage someone. Do not wait until your life looks perfect before you speak hope. Do not wait until you have abundance in every area before you become generous with love, patience, prayer, or kindness. Sometimes the smallest offering given with a sincere heart carries my presence more than a grand gesture done for attention. A listening ear can lift someone. A gentle word can lift someone. A prayer spoken in faith can lift someone. A testimony shared with humility can lift someone. A quiet act of service can lift someone. You may not always know who needs what you carry, but I know. I know how to place you near the weary at the right time. I know how to turn your ordinary obedience into an answer for someone else. I know how to use a moment that seems small to you as a turning point for another heart. So stay available to my love. Stay sensitive to my prompting. Stay humble when doors open. Stay generous when strength returns. My beloved child, there will be times when I ask you to lift others, not by doing more, but by being faithful with what is in front of you. Lift your family by becoming steady. Lift your community by carrying peace. Lift the discouraged by refusing to speak death over their future. Lift the lonely by reminding them they are not forgotten. Lift the confused by pointing them back to truth. This is not about fame. This is about faithfulness. This is not about being seen. This is about revealing me. When your life becomes a channel of my love, even your success changes meaning. You stop asking only, "What can I gain?" You begin asking, "Father, who can be strengthened through what you have given me?" You stop seeing blessing as a private possession. You begin seeing it as a sacred trust. My child, I am preparing you for increase that must remain pure. Do not fear being lifted if I am the one lifting you. Just stay close, stay surrendered. Let your hands remain open. Receive with gratitude. Release with love. Walk through open doors with humility, and never forget that every doorway I open carries responsibility. You are lifted to lift others. You are healed to carry compassion. You are strengthened to strengthen. You are guided to guide with humility. You are blessed so my goodness can travel through your life. And as this truth settles inside you, you will begin to sense something greater rising around you. I am not lifting one soul only. I am gathering many hearts. I am drawing together those who carry my presence, my humility, and my light. A wave is rising from my heart, and you are not outside of it. You are being prepared to move within it. My beloved child, now that you understand you are lifted to lift others, let me open your heart to something larger than your own story. I am not only moving in one life, I am not only strengthening one soul, I am gathering many hearts who have been hidden, refined, humbled, and made ready to carry my presence in this hour. A wave is rising from my heart, not a wave of noise, not a wave of pride, not a wave built by human ambition, a wave of surrendered lives moving in one rhythm with me. My child, do not imagine this as something far away from you. Do not think it belongs only to people with visible platforms, loud voices, or impressive gifts. I am not searching first for those who know how to be seen. I am searching for hearts that know how to yield. I am searching for those who can carry my presence without turning it into self-importance. The world looks for influence. I look for surrender. The world looks for performance. I look for purity. The world looks for people who can impress. I look for people who can host my presence with humility. As it is written in 1 Corinthians chapter 4, the kingdom of God is not a matter of talk but of power. My beloved child, this power is not human force. It is not emotional excitement. It is not the loudness of words. It is the quiet weight of my spirit resting on lives that have made room for me. This is the kind of wave I am raising, a wave of people who have learned to guard the flame, a wave of people who have chosen what nourishes the soul, a wave of people who return quickly when they drift, a wave of people who understand that unity is not competition but covenant movement under my hand. You are not outside this. You are being prepared for it. My child, many of those I am gathering have walked through seasons of obscurity. They have felt unseen. They have prayed in rooms where no one heard them. They have served quietly, forgiven quietly, endured quietly, and stayed faithful when it looked as though nothing was moving. But I was not wasting those hidden places. I was forming vessels that could carry something deeper than applause. What is born in pride cannot sustain my glory. What is formed in humility can carry my presence. This is why I have been teaching you discipline, return, connection, and alignment. These are not separate lessons. They are preparation for participation. I am not only healing you for your own peace, I am aligning you so you can move with what I am releasing. Remember the upper room in Acts chapter 2. The disciples were gathered together. They were not scattered in ambition. They were not competing for who would be greatest. They were waiting in one place, with one heart, under one promise. They did not manufacture the fire. They made room for it. And when the appointed moment came, my spirit came upon them like fire, and what had been hidden in prayer became visible in power. Do you see, my beloved child? The wave did not begin with performance. It began with unity. It began with waiting. It began with hearts surrendered enough to receive what heaven was ready to pour out. So it will be again in the lives I am gathering. I am bringing together people who have different stories, different gifts, different voices, and different wounds that have been touched by my grace. I am not making them identical, I am making them aligned. And when distinct hearts align under my presence, something greater than individual strength begins to move. This is not about building a name, this is about revealing mine. This is not about becoming impressive, this is about becoming available. This is not about chasing greatness, this is about carrying love, truth, mercy, and light where darkness has grown comfortable. My child, the wave rising from my heart will not be carried by those who only want a stage. It will be carried by those who can wash feet when no one claps. It will be carried by those who can speak truth without cruelty, love without weakness, serve without resentment, and stand without pride. It will be carried by those who understand that my presence is more precious than recognition. If I give you influence, hold it with clean hands. If I give you opportunity, walk through it with humility. If I connect you with others, honor what I placed in them. If I increase your reach, remember the lonely, the weary, the broken, and the ones still trying to find their way back to me. My beloved child, I am not raising a wave so people can admire the wave. I am raising it so the world can see my heart. A wave does not rise to praise itself. It moves because a deeper force is drawing it. In the same way, the lives I am gathering will not move from self-display, but from the pull of my spirit. There will be compassion in this wave. There will be courage in this wave. There will be correction in this wave. There will be healing in this wave. There will be a return to what is holy, not through fear, but through love. But understand this clearly. You cannot move with this wave while sleeping inside old patterns. You cannot carry what I am releasing while remaining numb to my voice. You cannot step into this rhythm if you are still allowing delay, distraction, and fear to keep deciding for you. That is why I have been calling you now, not later, not when everything feels perfect. Now, open your heart, lift your eyes. Pay attention to what my spirit has been stirring in you. My child, the dissatisfaction you feel with shallow living is not random. The hunger for deeper prayer is not random. The desire to walk with people of purpose is not random. The grief you feel over wasted time is not meant to bury you in regret. It is meant to awaken you. I am breathing again on places that felt quiet. I am stirring gifts that were buried beneath fear. I am calling forth courage that disappointment tried to silence. I am gathering hearts that thought they were alone, and I am teaching them to move together, not by pressure, but by my presence. As it is written in Psalm chapter 133, how good and pleasant it is when brothers dwell together in unity. There I command the blessing. My child, unity is not a small thing in my eyes. When hearts are truly joined in humility, love, truth, and obedience, blessing begins to flow in ways human effort cannot force. This is why you must guard your heart from division. Division can begin quietly through offense, comparison, suspicion, and pride. Do not let those things rule you. If I am calling you into a wave of unity, you must let me cleanse the places in you that resist being joined rightly. Let me remove the fear of being overlooked. Let me remove the need to compete. Let me remove the wound that assumes every person will harm you. Let me make you both discerning and open, both humble and strong, both separate from darkness and connected to the people I appoint. My beloved child, this wave is not coming to flatter you. It is coming to invite you. It is not a promise of ease. It is a call into presence, unity, courage, and obedience. You will not have to force your way into it. You must simply stay awake, stay yielded, stay close, and respond when I move. The time of standing on the edge and only watching is ending. The time of saying someone else will carry it is ending. The time of hiding behind old fear is ending. I am calling you into the current of what I am doing. And as this wave rises, you must be ready to recognize the next movement in your own soul. Because before you move outwardly, I must awaken what has been sleeping within. Not every quiet place in your life is peace. Some quiet places are spiritual slumber, and now I am calling you to wake up. My beloved child, as the wave rises from my heart, I now speak to the place in you that has grown too comfortable with delay. I speak not to condemn you, but to awaken you. Not every quiet place in your life is peace. Not every pause is rest. Not every stillness is trust. Sometimes what you call peace is only a soul that has stopped listening. Sometimes what you call waiting is only fear wearing softer clothing. Sometimes what you call being careful is hesitation that has learned to sound wise. My child, I know the difference, and I am teaching you to know it too. There is a holy stillness that comes from me. It is calm, clear, and full of trust. It makes your heart steady. It brings you closer to my voice. It helps you wait without becoming numb. But there is another stillness that is not from me. It is the silence of spiritual sleep. It does not heal you. It dulls you. It does not make you patient. It makes you passive. It does not draw you closer to me. It helps you become comfortable without obedience. I am calling you out of that sleep. As it is written in Ephesians chapter 5, "Awake, O sleeper, rise from the dead, and Christ will shine on you." My beloved child, this word is not harsh. It is mercy. It is the voice of heaven entering the room where your heart has grown dim and saying, "There is still light for you. There is still movement for you. There is still purpose ahead. Wake up, not in panic, not in shame, not with the fear that you have missed everything. Wake up, because I am near." My child's spiritual slumber often begins quietly. It does not always look like open rebellion. Sometimes it looks like going through the motions while the heart is far away. Sometimes it looks like speaking faith while avoiding the step I asked you to take. Sometimes it looks like keeping the appearance of peace while your inner life has stopped growing. You still hear messages, but you do not respond. You still know truth, but you delay obedience. You still sense my prompting, but you tell yourself, "Later," and later becomes a bed where purpose falls asleep. Do you see, I do not awaken you because I am angry. I awaken you because what I placed in you is too precious to remain buried under comfort. I awaken you because the flame is not meant to sit under ashes forever. I awaken you because the season ahead requires a heart that is alert, tender, and ready to move when I speak. There are places that once felt safe, but now they have become small. There are rhythms that once helped you recover, but now they are keeping you from rising. There are patterns that once protected you from pain, but now they are protecting you from growth. My beloved child, do not confuse survival with fullness. You survived some things because I carried you. You needed quiet. You needed shelter. You needed time to heal. I do not despise that season. I was with you in it. But healing is not meant to become a permanent hiding place. Shelter is not meant to become a prison. Rest is not meant to turn into refusal. There comes a moment when I say, "Rise," and this is such a moment. Remember Jonah. I called him to go in one direction, but he went another way. He found a ship. He went down into it. He fell asleep while a storm surrounded him. His body was resting, but his spirit was out of alignment. The sleep did not mean peace. It meant avoidance. The storm outside was exposing the distance inside. My child, I do not share this to frighten you. I share it because sometimes the heart sleeps most deeply when it is avoiding the call. It becomes tired from running, tired from postponing, tired from pretending that silence means everything is fine. But my mercy came even there. I did not leave Jonah in the wrong direction. I interrupted the path that was carrying him away from obedience. I brought him back, not because I had stopped loving him, but because my purpose was still upon him. So it is with you. If I stir your heart now, it is mercy. If I make you uncomfortable with delay, it is mercy. If I disturb a false peace, it is mercy. If I call you to rise from a pattern that has kept you numb, it is mercy. My beloved child, do not resist the awakening. Do not ask me to bless the place I am calling you out of. Do not cling to the familiar simply because it asks nothing from you. Comfort can become costly when it keeps you from obedience. I am not calling you to live restless. I am calling you to live awake. Awake to my voice. Awake to my timing. Awake to the small doors opening before you. Awake to the habits that have been stealing your hunger. Awake to the people I am placing near you. Awake to the courage I have been growing in you quietly. You have told yourself I am not ready, but readiness is not always a feeling. Sometimes readiness is the moment your heart stops arguing and begins to trust. Sometimes readiness is not having every answer, but recognizing my voice clearly enough to take the next step. My child, you have asked me to show you what is next. Yet when I begin to stir the next thing, fear tries to pull you back into sleep. It says, stay where things are predictable. Stay where nothing is demanded. Stay where you cannot fail because you never move. But I say rise, not because the road is easy, because I am with you, not because you know everything, because you know me. not because you are strong in yourself, because my strength will meet you as you obey. My beloved child, the awakening I bring is gentle, but it is also serious. I will not flatter the part of you that wants to remain asleep. I will comfort the wounded part, strengthen the weak part, forgive the drifting part, but I will also call the sleeping part to stand. You were not created only to observe what I am doing. You were not created only to hear truth and store it away. You were not created only to admire courage in others while hiding your own. I placed life in you to move. I placed light in you to shine. I placed a voice in you to answer me. So begin today with one act of awakening. Return to prayer. Open the word. Send the apology. Release the bitterness. Clean the space. Write the vision. Take the step. Close the door that keeps draining your spirit. Say yes to the prompting you have been delaying. Do not make awakening complicated. The soul wakes up through obedience. The heart becomes alert through response. The path becomes clearer as you begin to walk with me again. My child, I am not asking for a dramatic display. I am asking for a real response. A sincere yes. A small step taken while your heart is still learning courage. A movement away from spiritual slumber and toward living communion with me. And as you wake, you will discover something beautiful. What felt heavy while you were avoiding it will begin to carry grace when you obey. What felt impossible from the bed of delay will begin to open as you stand. What felt frightening from a distance will become a place where my presence meets you. Wake up, my beloved child. The hour is not meant to terrify you. It is meant to call you forward. The wave is rising. The spirit is stirring. The light is still within you. And now, as you open your eyes and rise from spiritual slumber, you must learn the next truth. I will not always give you the full map before I ask you to move. Sometimes I will give you only my voice, and that will be enough for the first step. My beloved child, now that I have called you to wake from spiritual slumber, understand this with a steady heart. I will not always show you the full road before I ask you to take the first step. I will not always explain every detail before I invite you forward. Sometimes I will give you a word, a prompting, a peace, a quiet command in your spirit, and that will be enough for the beginning. Step out before you understand everything. Not in recklessness, not in pride, not because you are trying to prove your faith to anyone. Step out because you know my voice. My child, many hearts remain at the edge of obedience because they are waiting for complete understanding. They say, I will move when I can see the outcome. I will obey when I know the cost. I will begin when every fear is gone. I will trust when every question has an answer. But faith does not wait for every question to bow before it moves. Faith recognizes the one who is speaking. As it is written in Hebrews chapter 11, by faith, Abraham obeyed when he was called to go out to a place he would later receive, and he went out not knowing where he was going. Do you see, my beloved child? He did not walk because he had a complete map. He walked because he had my word. There are steps in your life that will only become clear after you begin. There are doors that will only look like doors when you move toward them. There are confirmations that will only unfold as you obey the light already given. My child, I am not hiding the whole picture from you to make you anxious. I reveal in steps because your heart is learning to trust me, not the map. If you could see everything, you might place your confidence in the plan instead of the planner. But when you walk with me step by step, your dependence becomes deeper, your hearing becomes clearer, and your courage becomes rooted in my presence. You do not need to know the whole road to follow the shepherd. You only need to stay close enough to hear the next direction. My beloved child, there are familiar places you have remained in because they feel safe. They are not always sinful places. Sometimes they are simply old places, old patterns, old routines, old explanations, old limits. They once gave you shelter, but now they are too small for what I am calling forth in you. Do not make a home in what was only meant to be a temporary shelter. There comes a time when the place that protected you yesterday can begin to restrict you today. There comes a time when comfort becomes a wall. There comes a time when the boat that kept you safe from the water becomes the very place you must step out of to meet me in a deeper way. Remember Peter on the water. He saw me walking where human understanding had no explanation. The wind was strong, the waves were real, the boat was familiar, the water was impossible. Yet he said, Lord, if it is you, command me to come to you on the water. I did not give him a long explanation. I simply said, "Come, my beloved child." That word was enough to make the impossible become a place of obedience. The water did not become safe because Peter understood it. It became walkable because my word met his faith. So it is with you. There are places that look unstable to your natural eyes, but if I call you there, my presence will meet you there. There are steps that look beyond your strength, but if I am the one inviting you, grace will rise under your feet as you move. Do not wait until the water looks like stone. Listen for my voice. My child, this does not mean every desire is my direction. This does not mean every opportunity is my will. This does not mean you should move from emotion, pressure, or fear. You must discern. You must pray. You must listen for peace. But once I have made the next step clear, do not let the need for total understanding become disobedience. There is a kind of caution that is wisdom. There is also a kind of caution that is fear, dressed in careful language. Wisdom pauses to hear me. Fear pauses to avoid obeying me. Wisdom seeks my timing. Fear uses timing as an excuse to never move. Ask me to show you the difference. I will. My beloved child, stepping out often feels uncomfortable because obedience pulls you out of self-reliance. It invites you to leave the shore of what you can manage and enter the current of what only my grace can sustain. That is why the first step feels weighty. It is not only movement of the feet, it is surrender of control. You are saying, "Father, I trust you more than I trust what I can predict." You are saying, "I will follow your voice even when my feelings are still learning to be calm." You are saying, "I do not need full understanding to give you real obedience." That kind of trust is precious to me. Remember also the priests who carried the ark before the people crossed the Jordan. The waters did not part while they stood far away calculating the danger. The way opened when their feet stepped into the edge of the water. Their obedience touched the place of impossibility, and then my power made a path. My child, some waters will not move while you only study them from a distance. Some fears will not lose power while you keep negotiating with them. Some doors will not feel open until you take the first obedient step toward them. I am not asking you to force the miracle. I am asking you to trust the instruction. There is a difference. Forcing is when you move without me. Faith is when you move because I have spoken. Forcing leaves you exhausted. Faith keeps you dependent. Forcing tries to create a path. Faith follows the path I reveal as you walk. My beloved child, what is the step I have already placed before you? What obedience have you been delaying because you want more certainty than the moment requires? What door have you been standing near asking me to prove again and again what I have already whispered to your heart? Is it time to forgive? Is it time to begin? Is it time to leave what drains you? Is it time to speak the truth gently? Is it time to return to prayer? Is it time to accept the connection I am sending? Is it time to close the door that keeps pulling you backward? Do not make the step more complicated than it is. The enemy wants you trapped in endless analysis. He wants you to confuse overthinking with wisdom. He wants you to stand at the doorway so long that movement begins to feel impossible. But I am breaking that paralysis. I am teaching you to hear trust and move. Step out, my child. Not because you feel fearless, because I am faithful. Not because you see everything, because I see everything. Not because you can control the outcome, because I am already present in the place I am calling you toward. As you step, I will guide you. If you need correction, I will correct you. If you need strength, I will strengthen you. If you begin to sink, cry out to me, and I will lift you. Your safety is not in never needing help. Your safety is in staying close enough to call on me immediately. So take the next step with me. Let faith become movement. Let trust become obedience. Let the word you have received become the path you begin to walk. And as you do, you will understand the next warning with greater clarity. Do not let hesitation steal the appointed moment. Delay can look harmless, but if it continues too long, it can quietly cool the fire I have been awakening within you. My beloved child, now that I have called you to step out before you understand everything, let me speak to the place in you that still wants to delay. I know hesitation can feel safe. It can sound reasonable. It can appear wise. It can tell you that waiting a little longer will protect you from mistakes. But listen to me carefully. Do not let hesitation steal the moment. There is a waiting that comes from wisdom. and there is a delay that comes from fear. There is a pause that listens for my voice, and there is a pause that avoids obedience after my voice has already spoken. I am not asking you to move without discernment. I am asking you not to hide behind discernment when you already know the next step. My child, delay does not always look like rebellion. Sometimes it looks like endless thinking. Sometimes it looks like asking for another sign when I've already given peace. Sometimes it looks like saying, I will start tomorrow, while tomorrow keeps moving farther away. Sometimes it looks like calling fear preparation because you do not want to admit that your heart is afraid. I do not condemn your fear. I call you out of its rule. The appointed moment can be quiet. It may not arrive with thunder. It may come as a small opening, a simple instruction, a gentle pull, a door that will not remain open forever. If you keep postponing what I am asking, the flame does not always disappear at once. It cools slowly. Desire becomes dull. Conviction becomes quieter. What once stirred you deeply begins to feel distant. This is how hesitation steals. It rarely shouts. It whispers later. It whispers not yet. It whispers, wait until you feel stronger. But my beloved child, strength often comes as you obey, not before you obey. Courage often rises when your foot touches the path, not while you are standing far away, imagining every possible danger. As it is written in James chapter 1, be doers of the word and not hearers only. My word is not given to remain stored in the mind. It is given to become life in your steps. When you hear and never move, revelation can become weight. But when you obey, revelation becomes a road. My child, I have watched you carry words that were meant to become movement. I have watched you hold dreams that were meant to be planted. I have watched you delay conversations that would have released peace. I have watched you avoid small acts of obedience because they felt uncomfortable. Still, I have not left you. I am calling you now because the moment still matters. Remember Naaman. He wanted healing, but the instruction he received seemed too simple for his pride. Wash in the Jordan, that was all. He expected something grand, something impressive, something that made sense to his position. But the healing was not hidden in drama. It was hidden in obedience. At first he hesitated. He argued with the simplicity of the instruction. He nearly walked away from the very river that carried his answer. But when he humbled himself and obeyed, healing met him where obedience finally touched the water. Do you see, my beloved child? The miracle was not waiting for his full understanding. It was waiting for his alignment. So it is with you. There may be a simple step before you that your pride, fear, or overthinking has made complicated. A prayer to return to, a habit to restore, a person to forgive, a boundary to set, a truth to speak gently, a burden to release. A beginning you keep postponing because it does not look big enough to matter. But if I am in the instruction, do not despise its simplicity. Your obedience opens what your understanding cannot. My child, hesitation often grows when you want certainty more than closeness. You want to know how everything will end before you begin. You want to feel safe before you surrender. You want to see fruit before you plant. But faith does not work that way. A seed must enter the ground before a harvest can rise. A lamp must be lit before it can shine. A step must be taken before the path can unfold. Do not keep asking for harvest while refusing to plant. Do not keep asking for direction while refusing the first instruction. Do not keep asking for peace while holding the very thing I told you to release. My beloved child, I am patient, but my patience is not permission to remain asleep. My kindness does not exist to make delay comfortable. My mercy gives you room to return, not a reason to postpone obedience forever. There is grace for today, there is light for today, there is strength for today. Do not push today's obedience into a future that I have not asked you to wait for. You have said, what if I fail? I say, I will be with you. You have said, what if I am not ready? I say, walk with the readiness I give for the next step. You have said, what if people misunderstand? I say, obey me more than you fear their opinions. You have said, what if I make a mistake? I say, stay close enough for me to correct you quickly. My child, you are safer moving with me in obedience than standing still with fear as your counselor. This does not mean you must rush. Haste is not obedience, panic is not faith, but neither is endless delay. The rhythm I am calling you into is not frantic speed. It is prompt obedience. When I say wait, wait with peace. When I say move, move with trust. when I correct, adjust quickly, when I open, step through without arguing with the door. That is maturity. Not rushing ahead, not lagging behind. Walking with me. My beloved child, there are moments when delay costs more than action. A word not spoken in time can leave healing unopened. A gift buried too long can become covered with fear. A call ignored too long can begin to feel unreal. A small compromise left uncorrected can become a habit that resists the light. This is why I awaken you before the cost grows greater. Do not be afraid of this urgency. It is not the urgency of anxiety. It is the urgency of love. It is the Father saying, "Come now, because I know what this moment carries." It is the shepherd calling the sheep away from a path that looks harmless but leads toward danger. It is the Spirit stirring the soul before numbness settles deeper. My child, today can become a turning point if you answer me. Not because the whole future changes in one dramatic instant, but because one true yes can break the rule of delay. One act of obedience can reopen movement. One step taken with me can remind your soul that fear is not your master. So what is the one step? Do not look for 10. Look for one, the one prayer, the one decision, the one return, the one release, the one beginning, the one door to close, the one door to enter. Take that step with me. My beloved child, I am not asking for performance. I am asking for response. I am not asking you to become impressive. I am asking you to become obedient. I am not asking you to force a future. I am asking you to stop delaying the instruction already resting before you. When you obey, the fire begins to breathe again. The heart becomes alert again. The path becomes alive again. What felt buried begins to stir. What felt distant begins to draw near. What felt impossible begins to meet my grace. Do not let hesitation steal the moment. Do not let fear call itself wisdom. Do not let tomorrow become the hiding place of today's obedience. Rise gently, but rise. Move humbly, but move. Answer me with the step you can take now. And as you move, you will begin to notice something deeper happening within you. The fire I placed in you may not look the same as before. It may feel quieter, cleaner, more focused. Do not fear that. I am not removing the fire. I am refining it, purifying what burns inside you so it can carry my light without being mixed with fear, pride, or delay. My beloved child, now that I have called you not to let hesitation steal the moment, I want you to understand what is happening inside you. You may feel that the fire in you is not burning the way it once did. You may feel quieter than before. You may feel less driven by emotion, less stirred by noise, less satisfied with the things that once excited you. Do not be afraid. The fire is being refined, not removed. I am not taking away what is holy within you. I am purifying it. I am not silencing your calling. I am removing what used to mix itself with your calling. I am not making your heart cold. I am teaching it to burn with a cleaner flame. My child, there is a fire that is loud but unstable. It rises quickly, reacts quickly, speaks quickly, and fades quickly. It can look passionate, but it is often mixed with fear, pride, insecurity, and the desire to be seen. There is also a fire that burns deeper. It does not always make noise. It does not need constant attention. It remains steady because it has been touched by my hand. This is the fire I am forming in you. You may have mistaken intensity for purity. You may have believed that if you no longer feel the same emotional rush, something has gone wrong. But sometimes what you call loss is actually refinement. Sometimes I quiet the outer flame so I can purify the inner one. Sometimes I remove the smoke so the light can shine more clearly. As it is written in Malachi chapter 3, He will sit as a refiner and purifier of silver. My beloved child, a refiner does not place silver in the fire to destroy it. He places it there to remove what does not belong. He watches closely. He does not walk away. He does not forget the silver in the heat. He remains near until the reflection becomes clear. So it is with you. I am near in the refining. I am near when old motives rise to the surface. I am near when you feel stripped of the excitement you once depended on. I am near when you begin to see what was mixed within your desire. The heat is not proof that I have abandoned you. It is proof that I am working deeply. My child, refinement often feels confusing because it changes the way you experience yourself. You may wonder why certain ambitions no longer satisfy you. You may wonder why certain conversations feel empty. You may wonder why applause, approval, or outer excitement no longer feeds you the way it once did. This is not failure, it is separation. I am separating what is eternal from what is temporary. I am separating holy desire from anxious striving. I am separating true obedience from the need to prove yourself. I am separating my voice from the voices that used to drive you. Do not run from this process. Let me purify the fire. My beloved child, the fire I give is not meant to burn others with harshness. It is meant to carry light, warmth, truth, and power. When fire is mixed with pride, it becomes destructive. When fire is mixed with fear, it becomes restless. When fire is mixed with bitterness, it wounds instead of heals. But when fire is purified by my presence, it becomes holy. It speaks truth without cruelty. It carries passion without pride. It moves with courage without panic. It serves without needing attention. It burns because love has become stronger than fear. This is what I am forming in you. Remember Isaiah when he saw the Lord high and lifted up. He became aware of his unclean lips and the condition of the people around him. But I did not reveal his need in order to shame him. A coal from the altar touched his lips, and his guilt was taken away. Then when the question came, "Whom shall I send?" he could answer, "Here, I am, send me." Do you see, my child? Cleansing came before commissioning. Refinement came before being sent. The fire touched what needed to be purified, so the voice could carry a holy message. So it is with you. I am touching the places where your voice, your motives, your choices, and your desires need to be cleansed. Not because I reject you, but because I intend to send you with a clearer sound. I do not want you carrying yesterday's wounds into tomorrow's assignment, as if they are my truth. I do not want fear speaking through your calling. I do not want pride leading your obedience. I do not want pain shaping how you represent my heart. I want your fire clean. My child, this is why certain things are falling away. This is why some desires are changing. This is why some doors no longer carry peace. This is why some old habits feel heavier than before. This is why your spirit has become uncomfortable with what you once tolerated. The refining fire is revealing what cannot remain. Do not grieve every removal as a loss. Some things must leave so the flame can breathe. Some attachments must be loosened so obedience can become free. Some motives must be exposed so love can become pure. Some noise must quiet down so my voice can become clear. My beloved child, I know refinement can feel lonely. When I begin to purify the heart, not everyone understands the change. Some will wonder why you no longer enjoy the same things. Some will not understand why you are more careful with your words, your time, your attention, and your peace. Some may think you have become distant when truly you are becoming consecrated. Stay gentle. Stay humble. Do not use your refinement to judge others. Do not become proud because I am cleansing you. A refined heart does not look down on others. It bows lower before me. It remembers mercy. It understands that purity is not a trophy. It is a gift guarded by grace. My child, I am not making you cold. I am making you clear. I am not removing joy. I am removing what poisons joy. I am not taking away passion. I am teaching passion to serve love. I am not reducing your life. I am making it more able to carry my presence without being consumed by self. As it is written in Hebrews, our God is a consuming fire, but my fire does not consume what is truly mine in order to destroy it. It consumes what is false, so what is true can remain. It burns away the dry covering of fear. It burns away the brittle branches of pride. It burns away the hidden agreements with shame. It burns away the parts of delay that kept calling themselves safety, and what remains becomes stronger, cleaner, quieter, more steady, more useful in my hands. My beloved child, do not be discouraged if the refining has made you more aware of your need. That awareness is not weakness, it is honesty. A heart that knows its need can receive grace deeply. A heart that pretends it needs nothing becomes difficult to shape. Bring me what the fire reveals. Bring me the insecurity. Bring me the desire to be noticed. Bring me the old anger. Bring me the fear of being forgotten. Bring me the part of you that wants to run back to familiar comfort. I will not condemn what you surrender. I will cleanse it. I will teach you how to burn without being ruled by what once mixed with the flame. And when the fire becomes clean, your steps will change. You will no longer move just to be seen. You will move because I have spoken. You will no longer speak just to be heard. You will speak because truth must serve love. You will no longer serve from fear of rejection. You will serve because my love is flowing through you. This is holy fire. This is the flame that can carry the next assignment. So rest in my hands. Do not resist the refining. Do not call every quiet season a loss. Do not mourn every removal as punishment. I am preparing you for what comes next. The flame is still alive. The light is still mine. The calling is still real. But now it is becoming cleaner, steadier, and more able to carry my glory. And as this refining work settles within you, you will be ready for the final truth. The hour of commissioning has come. I am not only awakening you, aligning you, and purifying you. I am preparing to send you forward with humility, discernment, courage, and the light that has been guarded within you. My beloved child, now that the fire within you is being refined and not removed, listen to me with a steady heart. The hour of commissioning has come. I am not only awakening you, I am not only aligning you, I am not only purifying what burns within you, I am preparing to send you forward with humility, courage, discernment, and love. The hour of commissioning has come, not the hour of self-display, not the hour of pride, not the hour of proving yourself to those who doubted you, the hour of being sent by my hand. My child, commissioning does not always begin with a crowd. It does not always begin with a platform, a title, or a public announcement. Sometimes it begins in the quiet place where your heart finally says yes without needing applause. Sometimes it begins with a simple act of obedience that no one else notices. Sometimes it begins when you stop arguing with my call and begin walking with me. Do not despise the small beginning. A seed does not look like a field when it first enters the ground. A lamp does not look like sunrise when it first begins to glow. A footstep does not look like a journey when it first touches the road. But when I breathe on what is surrendered, small obedience becomes the doorway into greater purpose. My beloved child, I have been preparing you through every lesson. I taught you to guard the flame because you cannot carry my light carelessly. I taught you watchfulness because you must recognize what tries to enter your heart. I taught you to gather oil because the night requires inner preparation. I taught you discipline because the garden of your soul needs protection. I taught you to choose what nourishes you, because what feeds you will shape you. I taught you that victory is formed in hidden habits. I taught you to return quickly when you drift. I taught you that you do not need to be perfect to be used. I taught you that you are not an isolated island. I taught you covenant, unity, right, connection, alignment, humility, awakening movement, prompt obedience, and refined fire. Do you see? My child, none of it was random. Every word was part of preparation. Every correction was part of love. Every invitation was part of the call. I was not only comforting you, I was forming you. I was not only healing you, I was readying you. I was not only reminding you that you are loved, I was teaching you how to carry that love into the places where I will send you. As it is written in John chapter 20, as the Father sent me, I also send you, my beloved child, to be sent by me. Does not mean you go alone. It means you move under my presence. It means you do not carry your own message apart from my heart. It means you walk as one who has been loved, forgiven, taught, corrected, and entrusted with light. You are not sent to impress. You are sent to reveal. You are not sent to dominate. You are sent to serve. You are not sent to perform holiness. You are sent to live close to me and let my life become visible through yours. My child, the world does not need more noise. It needs lives that carry truth with love. It needs people who can stand firm without becoming cruel. It needs people who can be gentle without becoming weak. It needs people who can bring peace without avoiding truth. It needs people who can carry fire without burning others in pride. That is why I refined you. That is why I slowed you down when you wanted to rush. That is why I exposed motives you did not know were there. That is why I removed certain attachments. That is why I taught you to return quickly instead of hiding in shame. I was preparing you to represent my heart more clearly. My beloved child, do not wait until you feel great before you answer the call. Many people miss the beauty of commissioning because they imagine it must feel dramatic. They think they will wake one morning feeling fearless, powerful, and completely ready. But often the sent one still feels small. The sent one still needs me. The sent one still trembles a little, not from unbelief but from holy awareness that the assignment is greater than human strength. That is not failure. That is dependence. And dependence is safe when it is dependence on me. Remember Jeremiah. He felt too young, too unprepared, too limited in his speech. But I did not ask him to measure himself against the assignment. I told him not to be afraid because I was with him. My hand would be upon his mouth. My word would be given. His confidence did not need to come from his own ability. It needed to come from my presence. So it is with you. Do not say I am too late. Do not say I am too weak. Do not say I have made too many mistakes. Do not say someone else would be better. If I am calling you, my grace is sufficient for the step I place before you. My child, commissioning does not mean every door opens at once. It means you are no longer living asleep, delayed, and disconnected from purpose. It means your yes has become real. It means you begin where I place you with what I give you in the strength I provide. Begin with the person in front of you. Begin with the task in your hand. Begin with the truth I have already spoken. Begin with the prayer you have neglected. Begin with the act of love you can offer today. Begin there. I know how to expand what begins in obedience. My beloved child, when I send you, I also cover you. I do not commission you and then abandon you to figure everything out alone. My spirit guides, my word anchors, my peace warns, my grace strengthens, my mercy restores, my presence goes with you. You will need to keep listening. You will need to keep returning. You will need to keep your heart clean. You will need to keep your hands open. But you will not walk without me. As it is written in Acts chapter 1, power comes when my spirit rests upon my people and they become witnesses. Notice this, my child. They were not sent to be spectators. They were not sent to build themselves. They were sent to witness to what they had received, what they had seen, what they had known, and what my spirit had made alive within them. Your life can become a witness. Your restored peace can become a witness. Your obedience can become a witness. Your humility can become a witness. Your refusal to return to old darkness can become a witness. Your love, even after pain, can become a witness. Do not underestimate what I can reveal through a surrendered life. My child, the hour of commissioning is not only about where you will go, it is about who you will be as you go. Will you go with pride or will you go with humility? Will you go with fear or will you go with trust? Will you go carrying old wounds as weapons or will you go carrying healed places as testimony? Will you go seeking recognition or will you go seeking obedience? Let your answer be simple. Father, send me where your love can move through me. Father, send me where your truth can be carried with grace. Father, send me where my life can point back to you. My beloved child, I am not asking you to become everything. I am asking you to become faithful. I am not asking you to carry the whole world. I am asking you to carry my presence into your portion of it. I am not asking you to force outcomes. I am asking you to obey me with a clean heart and trust me with the fruit. So rise, the flame has been guarded. The oil has been gathered. The heart has been awakened. The fire has been refined. Now walk forward. Carry peace into confusion. Carry light into darkness. Carry mercy into wounded places. Carry truth without cruelty. Carry love without fear. Carry faith without performance. Carry me. My beloved child, this is not the end of the journey. It is the beginning of a deeper obedience. Keep your ear near my voice. Keep your heart soft. Keep your spirit watchful. Keep your steps humble. If you stumble, return quickly. If you grow weary, come back to the source. If the road becomes unclear, wait for my light. If the door opens, enter with faith. I am with you. I have been with you through the hidden place. I am with you in the rising. I will be with you as I send you. The hour of commissioning has come, and you do not have to fear it. You are not walking forward as one abandoned. You are walking forward as my beloved child, carried by, my presence covered by, my mercy guided by my spirit, and sent with a light that darkness cannot overcome.